naval intelligence at a secret base within the Nevada test site known only as S4. This scientist not only explained how these craft traveled many times faster than the speed of light, but in March of 1989, took John to a remote desert location to watch the Navy test fly one of those extraterrestrial craft. John, who no longer gives lectures on the subject of UFOs, and has no plans, incidentally, to write a book, is currently a DCA captain with a major cargo carrier, has 4 daughters, and lives in Las Vegas with his wife, Carol Lee. So that's a pretty full plate for anybody's life, I would say, and a little fuller than mine has been, certainly, and I think most. In just one moment, we'll get to John Lear, and I think you'll find him more than just a little fascinating. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here comes John Lear. John, well, wait a minute, let me put you on hold there and bring you up here. John, it's been a long time since we've had you on the program. Welcome back.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it sure has been. It's been, what, over a year?
At least that long, John. And the network in that time has grown magnificently. I think we've gone from about 28 stations to about 120. Yeah. Yeah, we've come a long way, baby. Well, anyway, John, you've done a lot in your life, haven't
you? Yeah, a little bit here and there.
It's been awfully busy. I mean, this is quite a resume you've got, and that's a lot to do in life. And then all of a sudden, at some point, you decided to mix into all of this, which is enough for about some people normally, and you got involved in UFOs.
Yeah, involuntarily, I might add.
Involuntarily. Well, look, we'll get to that. You've done something kind of interesting. You've given me this timeline, and I do appreciate it. I would like to go back over the history a little bit with you, John, and pick your brain about what you know about the incidents that you have listed for me. Did modern ufology really begin about 1947?
Yeah, it really did with the Kim Arnold sighting, but now there's been a lot that happened before that. There was a recovery, I think in 1941, I think in Arizona, and there was a lot of activity during World War II, but really modern ufology started in 1947 with the recovery, well, first with Ken Arnold sighting up in Seattle, I think it was, and then the recovery of the craft in Roswell, New Mexico.
Well, I'm not familiar with the Arnold sighting.
Well, Ken Arnold sighting was when he saw those 9 discs flying through the air. He thought on a search and rescue mission. And he saw these discs, and when he landed, the reporters wanted to know what he... What he saw, and he said, well, it was kind of like saucers, and that was the first coining of the term flying saucers.
Ah.
And this happened like in late June of 1947, and then coincidentally, just like a week later, was this recovery of the craft in Roswell.
Well, I say modern ufology. Really, there have been sightings, I suppose, for as long as man has been around to record them.
Yeah, at least there's hundreds of references in the Bible, and before that, the Chinese and Indian records record saucers up to 4,000 years ago.
Okay, now to Roswell very quickly. I interviewed the author of the book, The Truth About the UFO Crash at Roswell the other day, and he did a pretty good job of documenting what I guess is, would you say it is the best documentation of something that has happened?
Yeah, it probably is. I mean, of course. Well, no, it is.
It is. And I know you've looked at Roswell. I guess it's probably one of the first things that you studied when you jumped into all this. What kind of conclusions did you draw about it, Joe?
Well, at that time, 1985 when I first got into this. I think there was over 200 witnesses that were still alive that they had either touched or loaded or seen the craft and the body. And of course, those people are still alive now, but there was overwhelming evidence that this occurred.
What actually supposedly happened? Was there, what is the best guess? Was there a collision? Did it blow up? Does anybody speculate about what happened to this craft?
There's theories, and I don't think it's so much so important as what happened, the fact that it did happen. Now, some people say there was two craft, and one landed and one crashed on the Magdalene Flats, about 100 miles east of Roswell, and there was a craft, a portion of the craft that landed on the Groundy Ranch, there near Corona. But whatever did happen, it certainly collected a large amount of debris, and there was a lot of people involved in the effort. But what was so interesting is the preparedness of the military to deal with this. There was no confusion. They knew exactly what to do. They knew exactly what they had, and that it must be kept a secret. And they were very well prepared.
So that would indicate to you, I guess, that they had some knowledge of what was going on or some interaction prior to that.
Advanced knowledge that there was a possibility that this could happen, and they were very well prepared.
All right. Also in that same timeline, 1947, the establishment, the original establishment of MJ-12. And the MJ-12 documents, which I've seen, John, do you view those as legitimate?
The information is legitimate, not necessarily the document. President Truman certainly formed MJ-12 on September 24th, 1947. There's enough evidence in government documents that he did have a meeting with certain people and did form his body, which, of course, has been in charge of since.
What was the job of MJ-12? It had a charter, right? What was it supposed to do?
The charter of MJ-12 was basically to research the craft, determine what it was made of, whether it was a threat to this country, and to determine what should be done to tell, if at all, the public about what was going on.
Mm-hmm. So they kind of were the overseers of all this.
Yeah, they were, and they are the overseers. The original 12 that were appointed by Truman, the last one that died, I think it was 1983, and it was former Secretary of the Army, Gordon Gray. He was the last member. As to who is involved or a member of MJ-12 today, we can only speculate. I really don't know, but...
Well, since that time, there must have been many members. In other words, people die, people retire, people get sick, all kinds of things. So if it's... Are you saying it's still in place today?
Yeah, MJ-12 certainly in place. And, they have, they would have had to replace the original 12. I don't think it would be more than 30 were probably ever involved.
People talk, John, about this current administration, the Clinton administration, and how open they've been with the nuclear, the tests that were done, the awful things that were done. And they have hopes that they will also be open about UFOs and maybe tell us what's going on. What do you think?
Yeah. When I first got into what they call ufology, and I think it's a dumb name, but when I first got interested in this, I realized the overwhelming impact of what was going on and the cover of it that had been in place for so many years. I got up on my soapbox and did lectures and said, hey, you gotta listen to me. There's something going on here that we should all be aware of. And then that was like 1985. And now in September 1994, I think the government was correct because as short as 3 or 4 years ago, I still thought they were planning to gradually release the information so that the public would, not panic, but accept this. And now I don't think they ever had any intention of doing that, and I don't think they have today. And as odd as it may sound, I kind of go along with it. I believe that the public does not have a need to know. They certainly don't have the right to know. There's so say, that would really disrupt public life as we know it, that I don't think they had any intention of doing it. The only reason that they would maybe be forced to do it is just if there was a crash or a landing that would absolutely could possibly not be denied. And they have facilities and teams in place to prevent things like that ever happening. There have been doctors that have crashed very, very near the city and it's been completely covered up. They have teams that go out and it's their business to be sure that the public never finds out. And if this includes reclothing, relocating personnel, or even terminating personnel that have seen this rise either accidental or on purpose, they go to that extent.
Well, I do know this. There have been crashes here near us, John, to the west of you, and you know what I'm near.
Yeah.
And there have been crashes out here, and it's true, the public would never know. They get these areas quickly cordoned off, and you don't get anywhere near it. And, you know, it's wreckage, and it could be anything. And so who knows? If the saucer did come down, they could get control of it very quickly, just like that, couldn't they?
Exactly. I heard one that landed just maybe a few miles outside of downtown Albuquerque. And these teams are located all over the United States. They're in underground facilities. They have helicopters. They have people who are technicians and heavy equipment operators who have passes and authority to go to any civilian or military base and drive right off to this heavy equipment. And their job is to go and keep us from being seen. And one of the first things they do is they have these portable walls that are put in place. And then they secure the area. If it's like near a freeway, what they can do is have a heavy truck purposefully have a wreck right there to block the freeway for the miles from the crash or the landing. They can also start fires. They do really interesting things to keep people from seeing. Anyway, they record these portable walls around these things, and everybody's sitting around trying to figure out what to do. I think it's been about 5 hours. And then all of a sudden they just left. And nobody got out, there was no communication. And it just left.
All right. You know, we're very efficient in this country at doing this kind of thing. And I don't doubt that for a second. I've seen it myself. But, John, they come down all over the world. Or at least you would think they come down all over the world. So what about other countries less prepared to make it all a big secret?
We go in and with money, we say, you know, we need to have this craft, and here is so many millions of dollars to be sure that nobody ever finds out about the recovery in Bolivia, one in Argentina, one in South Africa, just a very few days ago. All over the world, except for Russia, we have the control over those, and I don't know how that happened. I don't know what happened in Russia. There's crashes there, there's recovery there. So.
In 1948, the Aztec recovery, possible EBE-1. What does all that mean? Man, tell us it.
Aztec recovery was a monster crash in Aztec, Mexico. And they recovered a few bodies from that one. It's not sure where they got their first live alien, but they were called, they were named EBE, extraterrestrial biological entities, by Dr. Devlin Braun, who was one of the first members of the Unity trial. At some point in that 47, 48, 49, they recovered the first live alien. The Van Til incident in 7%, that was the B-51 crash, piloted by Thomas Mantel over, it was in Kentucky, and he got up to about 30,000 feet. He was on clear communication, and he said, I have an insight. It's going to make tremendous size. And then the next thing they knew is that B-51 crashed in the field. It was completely disintegrated. There are stories that Mantel's body was not in the crash, but I don't know for sure that was Mantel incident, and that occurred in the same year as the Aztec recovery.
How many bodies totally do you think they've recovered?
Between 50 to 100, representing at least 5 different civilization. They're all on infrared storage. One of the interesting things here is in 1972, the only civilian that I know that ever got to see the bodies was Jackie Gleason, and he was a very good supporter of Nixon. So they were out playing golf down there in Miami in 1972, and Jackie Gleason, as not many people know, was one of the, he had a tremendous interest in flying saucers, because he had one of the biggest civilian collections of books and memorabilia and pictures and stuff like that.
No, I didn't know that.
And I think, you know, his house was built in the shape of the saucer. He called it the mothership. Anyway, in conversation with Nixon, he said, you know, he can't get to see the bodies, and Nixon said, yeah, sure. They went to finish their golf game, they went over, got a presidential helicopter, and they went to Homestead Air Force Base, which was right near the where they were playing, and called, and he was showing the body.
John, you were talking about Jackie Gleason and said that Richard Nixon took him from a golf course to go see the aliens?
Right, at Homestead Air Force Base. The reason we know this is his second wife wrote a book describing the incident, how he came home that night, and he was all pale, and he said, oh my God, what's the matter? And he said, we'll get you a drink and I'll tell you. So he got on the drink, and he sat down, he said, you know, the most interesting thing happened to me today, and went on to relate the incident about how he'd seen the bodies. And this book was never published, but in the manuscript, this is how it was.
Wow. And so we actually got to see the bodies at Homestead?
Homestead Air Force Base, right. That was one of the places that they had the cryogenic storage and display for people who were authorized to see the display, like certain world leaders, certain political people.
Are they still there now?
I don't know.
Well, surely we do still have bodies, don't we?
Certainly, we still have them all.
And no idea where they might be.
No.
I've heard some rumors lately, John, that there might be some bodies here in Nevada somewhere. Not, Area 51-ish, but somewhere else here in Nevada. Have you ever heard that?
Very well, there's a lot of things here in Nevada, and there's a lot of secret places, not only the test site, there's a lot of other places. Right close here at Nellis Air Force Base is a place we call Area 2, which is a nuclear bomb storage area, but part of that area is called, I think they call it the Q area, or Area Q. Yeah, there's a lot of pieces of bits and parts stored there.
Area Q, that's one I've never heard of. All right, there are so many incidents we could talk about. There was one recovery, I guess, in 1950 in Mexico, across from Del Rio, is that right?
Right, across about 380 miles across the border, and we went over and actually dragged it 30 miles to Del Rio. And up until maybe 10 or 15 years ago, people that had researched that incident said you could still see the drag marks of where he had pulled it across.
Wow. Yeah, and I've heard about this before, John. In Washington, D.C., it is true then that for a couple of weekends in a row, back in 1952, they actually had flying saucers over Washington, D.C. They were photographed by the press?
Yeah, they were photographed, and we saw them both on A radar and outburst radars. I think we could go down to the library and pull out those weekend editions, I think, of the Washington Post. And there's stories all over it. And then I think the third weekend, the Air Force released a story, and I think it was the largest press conference of the decade. And they said that it had been a temperature inversion, which caused naturally the press spot it. And,
well, it says here the press got photographs. How do you photograph a temperature inversion?
That's a good question.
So, I've never seen the photographs. What do they look like?
Well, the photographs were, of course, complicated. They had a very good machine in place for dealing with the press and for dealing with anybody that photographed. They still do. Now, once in a while, you'll see a photograph of a, bright light in the sky, but you won't see real good photographs because somehow they get all of them.
Then there was a recovery near Johannesburg, South Africa, back in '53. And I sort of vaguely remember something about that, John. What happened?
Well, there was one thing, I don't know too much about that, but there was one over several years ago that...
yeah, maybe that's the one I remember.
That supposedly crashed, and we sent one of our they had the recovery teams who would see 5 days. They go over there and they load it up and bring it back to wherever. Some say right Patterson, some say out here at the Green Lake.
All right, and then the first official meeting in 1954, supposedly, between Eisenhower and the aliens at Muroc Dry Lake, is that correct?
Yeah, and as ridiculous as this may sound, there's very good evidence that did occur, and Muroc was the original name of Edward Dilworth's base. It was later named after Glenn Edwards, who I think crashed in a flying wing there. It was called Muroc, and Eisenhower was vacationing in the garden of Palm Springs, and he was called to Edwards by the military, and the press was giving the story that he had to attend an emergency session with the dentist as a cover. But in fact, this is when the meeting occurred, and Eisenhower essentially told these people that the world was not ready to see them or be aware of them, and that's where it stood until the Parliament encounter of 1964. But later, the dentist was interviewed and said, no, he didn't have an appointment with me. So the cover story was started down around.
All right. By 1956, with more recoveries having been done, the first human mutilation occurred, is that correct?
Yeah, right. Well, the first one that they knew about, and that was in the Grudge 13 report that Bill English read. And it was Jonathan T. Muppet, who was a tech sergeant out on the Holloman Range. And he and the captain were out there recovering some missile debris about 3 o'clock in the morning. And as the story goes, Muppet went over his hill to where there was kind of a bright shining light, and the captain called after him and he heard a response. And he went up to the hill and saw this disc with kind of a snake-like arm coming out of it, and it had grabbed Muppet, who was kicking and screaming, and dragged him in this saucer. The captain, who was petrified, ran back in his jeep and went back to the base, and he was in fact charged with murder because there was no body. But about 10 days later, they recovered the body. It was about 10 miles downrange. And I won't go into the details, but it was horribly mutilated. Just as your imagination of how bad it could be, and it was worse than that.
In 1957, John, you say there was the prohibition of the word space in the media.
For about 10 months, the media was not allowed to use the word space in any of their stories. Why? And that they were sure they didn't want the public to be thinking or be aware about anything in space. This was before Sputnik had come out, and you have to understand at that time the government was just petrified about this whole thing. Routine mutilations and saucer crashing all over the place. They didn't want the public thinking about the possibility of anything other than terrestrial.
John, while we're on the subject of mutilations, Linda Howe, who does this show with me on Sunday called Dreamland, concentrates a lot on animal mutilations, and I just got an article from somebody. It came in the Associated Press article, and with a local kind of angle to it in the Albuquerque Journal, dated Sunday, August 14th, so it's brand new. There are cattle mutilations going on like crazy right now in northern New Mexico, and they really are odd, John. High heat used, genitals and tongues and so forth on, removed, all that sort of thing going on, and it's going on massively now in northern New Mexico. Are the cattle mutilations related in any way to the human mutilations?
I don't know, but they do the same thing. They carve out the rectum, they take the genitals, they carve the eyes out, but they follow the same pattern. We have
Yes, I recall.
Well, the interesting thing is that that area was sealed off from all reporters and researchers, and no pictures were ever released, and no independent inspection was done. And after the initial interest, there was only one story done by a reporter in Reno. This reporter never went near the horses or the site, but relied mainly on unsubstantiated reports from the authorities. He wrote that the horses were killed by rifle bullets fired from persons who were charged, but then later released for insufficient evidence.
Right.
And this reporter received the Pulitzer Prize for his report.
If you had to hazard a guess with regard to all these cattle mutilations, what do you think is being done?
I don't know. It has to do with genetic experimentation, those particular parts of the body. I think they use it, hormones, secretions, that kind of thing, for whatever they're experimenting.
Well, there are people who suggest that it's our own government, that our government is somehow doing it. But it wouldn't make sense to me that our government would feel a need or would even have a need to raid anybody's cattle farm.
Well, certainly if it was our own government, they would do it a little bit more discreetly. There's no question in my mind that we do some of that, but the major portion of it is done by someone else.
Well, you think the government could get cattle if they need cattle?
Certainly, they can have a farm, and they wouldn't need the bodies lying around just to invite speculation.
All right. The explosion over Nevada that you talked about, the recovery of a craft in New Mexico in 1962.
Yeah, I was just trying to find a copy of that of the Las Vegas Sun. Had a front page story of this explosion that occurred. Well, it was seen all over Nevada, but apparently part of it crashed in Mesquite. And apparently that was one of the first test flights that our government made in a recovered extraterrestrial craft. And because of the disastrous outcome of it, there was no more testing it until 1972. Apparently that was us trying to fly one of the extraterrestrial crafts.
Okay, is that one of them that had crashed, or was one turned over to us in some way? Or?
All I can tell you is it was acquired. Now, whether it crashed and was good enough working order to fly, or whether it was turned over to us as one of the ones that Linda Hamilton talks about at Kill Air Force Base in Utah. Everybody wakes up one morning and there's one just sitting on the way. The doors are open. It's just sitting there. And that was one of the cases where we had to quickly cover it up and take it somewhere. That was sitting there on the ramp. Now, who gave it to us? I don't know, but it was just there.
Boy, it's so hard to fill in the blanks sometimes. The Holloman incident in 1964, agreement in the late 60s to build a Dulce recovery near Fort Riley, Kansas. That was a busy year.
Yeah, that was the Holloman incident was documented by Sandler Productions. The film that came was released in 1973, and that was actually supposedly the first attempt by the government to release information to the public. And they took Sandler Films, who was the CIA front in Los Angeles, to write a documentary outlining the history of UFOs and to end it with the actual film, the actual landing at Honolulu. And that was going to be the final part of the film. Well, we got everything done. Emanator himself, Robert Emanator, who was a close friend, actually had 800 feet of this film in his house. He did not give the film, but he was given to us by Paul Shartle, who was head of the audiovisual department at North Air Force Base, and Shartle watched the film in its entirety. He says there's no question that it was a real film, and that it showed these three saucers coming down, one landing, the other two going away, and then three people coming out. They were humanoid, but slightly different than us. They had a weapon. And this film was supposed to be shown as the last part of the actual documentary. It's called UFOs Past, Present, and Future. At the last minute, the Pentagon withdrew the film and said, we want you to use this film to depict the end in terms of it may have happened. And so if you ever see a copy of this, you'll see Rod Serling does the narration say, let's consider an incident that could happen in the future or already may have happened in the past. And in fact, it had happened. And that's how the film got released. But that was the incident, the Hollywood incident that they talk about.
All right, what is Dulce? The building of Dulce.
Dulce was an underground base that still active. It's on the Colorado Mexico border. It's near the town of Dulce. It's completely underground. It's my understanding. It's about 1,500 feet underground. And it's where supposedly the CIA and the aliens joint genetic experiment. I now Dulce. I talked with Gabe Valdez, who was head of the Highway Patrol, Mexico Highway Patrol, in this area was Dulce. I spent 2 evenings with him driving around the entire area and heard all his stories about all the crap he'd seen and the evidence that Dulce was in fact there. There's no question in my mind that it was there, and that it still is there. And there's a story that will come up later, what's called the Dulce incident, which happened in 1979, when we get into that part of the title.
All right, and the recovery at Fort Riley, Kansas.
Yeah, there was either recovery or a landing of criminal soldiers who were there once you come down.
Then one near Kecksburg, Pennsylvania.
That's a very famous, and it's covered in a lot of these things like hard copy and Entertainment Tonight. They do still on this every once in a while, but there was a recovery there of an acorn-shaped object, and there's quite a lot of evidence for that.
Boy, we must have a lot of artifacts stored somewhere, not just bodies, but discs and parts of discs and all the rest of it.
We do, and I was just reading a story here from one of the researchers in Springfield. It talked about 4 military personnel who were engineers, and they were flown one night, 4 hours, to get this back their right path. They didn't know where they were being flown. They had to find places security holes. They say that after 4 hours they landed and they were blindfolded. They were taken out. They said when we stepped out, it was like being in the desert. They were on with their blindfolds up. They went into this hangar, and the lights were turned on. The blindfolds taken off, and they said this whole thing was full of all kinds of artifacts. And there was a quote, a curator there, that they were allowed to inspect, and they were there for 4 days to inspect and speculate on what these items. And then after 4 days, they said they could come back anytime they wanted, and they had any fresh ideas, but they were not discussing it.
How intriguing. Then there's 1967. This one's close to home. A big disc, a large disc, hovers over Las Vegas School, it says, and children are sent home. Really?
Yeah, a friend of mine, direct Tabitha, was one of the students there, and this covered over the school, and the children were sent home, and they were quite clearly. I'm not sure if it was her or somebody else, but that did happen in 1967. And along with that, there was a landing at Ellis Air Force Base where a saucer landed, and people got out, and a colonel who was there drew his weapon, and the colonel was paralyzed in place, and the range of the weapon entered inoculated, and a few minutes later they took off.
Well, John, we're about out of hour here, out of this hour, but I want to ask you, you have flown and flown and flown and flown. You've been in our skies, looked more into the skies than probably most of us. In all those zillions of hours, how many hours do you have now, John? Do you know? 17,000 hours. In 17,000 hours, one would think if they're up there, you would have been one of the guys who would have seen one of them.
Well, let me tell you about flying. If you're not sitting here looking out the window, you're looking at your instruments, particularly when you're flying jet aircraft. Now, tonight, when it's more likely you're going to see something, you can't see outside because you've got the glow of the instruments inside, and you have to put your face up to get rid of all the carpet reflections to do it. And it's something that doesn't happen.
So then, unless it was close and bright, you probably wouldn't see it.
No, you really wouldn't. And the only time that I ever saw anything, and it's still interesting these days. I think about this incident. It never occurred to me. I was in a Lear jet. I was in the afternoon. I was sending from over Palm Springs. I was on a flight from Wichita to Los Angeles. I was descending through about 18,000 lanes. How high was I?
John. I've never heard this story. So hold this story. We're now at the top of the hour. When we come back, we'll tell the story. Once again, my guest, John Lear, who has flown in jet aircraft for many, many thousands of hours, and pressed a little bit, now recalls one incident where he saw something or another. Anyway, John, when was it? What did you see?
Well, it was like 1966 or so, and I was sending a Lear jet from a flight from Wichita to Los Angeles, and descending to like 30,000 feet. And from I was headed westbound, and from my left to my right, I saw what I thought at the time was a NASA lifting body that had 24 or one of those type things. You remember the one with the $6 million man crash?
I do, yes.
And that's what it looked like. And it went by, and I mentioned it to a co-pilot when I landed. I distinctly remember calling Hank Beer, who was chief test pilot at Lear jet, and I said, "Man, you'll never guess what I saw today." And he said, "What?" I said, "A lifting body passed me." And only after 25 to 30 years, I look back and say how ridiculous that was, because under no stretch of the imagination would a lifting body be in the main approach corridor for Los Angeles International Airport.
Heavens no.
So I don't know what I saw, but in almost thousands of hours, I guess that's the only strange thing I ever saw.
That's it. All right. There's so much history to go through here, John. I guess let's jump up to a violent encounter, supposedly, between UFO humanoids and the U.S. military at Lumberton, Ohio.
Yeah, there was two. One happened in Cambodia, one that happened in Dini, Ohio. The one at Dini, Ohio was an encounter between the occupants of an alien craft and the U.S. military detachment, and there was 11 American casualties and an unknown number of aliens. And one of the researchers met a guy who worked at the cemetery at Lake Chap, who claims to have seen bodies on litters arriving at the base during that time frame.
As I go through the history, it is interesting in one respect. All of these occurrences, all of these witnesses, all of these bodies, how can it, well, of course it isn't really kept secret, because here we are talking about it, but still the official cloak of secrecy remains. How can that be?
It's great. They can't keep a secret if they want to.
Well, that's really true, and if anything, the revelations about the nuclear testing, I think, prove that. How I can't imagine how our government could have kept secret the fact that they were feeding radiation to children. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they did. All right. You mentioned Cambodia, a firefight between the U.S. military and small gray humanoids.
Yeah, that was in April of 1972, and what happened is members of the U.S. Army Special Operations Group were involved in a firefight with the occupants of an identified alien craft. There were several alien casualties and a single human death. Those several were burned by an unknown weapon. And what happened was this platoon happened on a group of aliens who were sorting human body parts into large bins and sealing them. A firefight ensued until the aliens were killed and through headshots, because the suits they were wearing were essentially bulletproof. And as the soldiers pulled back, several aliens quickly tracked as much as they could, got in this craft, and it took off. The unit was interrogated originally by military personnel and by civilians who were identified as representatives of magic, and they are part of the justice group to go out and help these things out.
All right, looks like we're going to jump into the tough stuff early. Why, John, would they be packing up body parts?
They got many. For every every answer I've ever gotten in all this research, I get 10 more questions posed. So if you're looking for answers.
Well, I think this, though, goes to a pretty awful area. I mean, you have not ruled out the possibility, have you, that we are, for them, food?
No, but it's kind of far out. I did make that statement once in an interview, and I regretted it ever since because it sounds so outrageous. I'm not sure that
listen, let me stop you, John. It really did sound outrageous then, but you know something? I've been interviewing a lot of ecologists, scientists, scholars, people who have said things that when they say them, John, they suddenly harken back to some of the early interviews that I did with you, and I'll say to myself, sometimes out loud, I'll be damned. You know, I remember John said that, and a lot of people guffawed, and here we are. I mean, a lot of that stuff that you told me, John, has been coming back recently.
Yeah.
And a lot of investigators, John, are beginning to go down some of the same roads you did. Back then, you were one of the only ones saying, look, these guys are not like necessarily warm, fuzzy, nice people who wish us well. And you were almost alone then. But now, let me tell you, John, more people than not are beginning to join you in that in that view. At any rate, the Dulce incident.
Yeah, the Dulce incident I first heard about in 1986 and 1987 when I was invited to be part of a group of researchers who had Crystal, Colorado. We just traded information. And I was handed a letter by one of the guys who knew who got this letter from a person who lived in Las Vegas and said, why don't you research this? And it talked about this underground base and found it so far out. But I met with this person, and she had known one of the officers who had worked inside this base and originally told about the massacre at Dulce. I further heard a story by a guy named Paul Benowitz, who was in Albuquerque, who was involved in this, and he told me about it also. The story went that in 1979 we had 44 scientists who were being instructed by the aliens, some subjects, I don't know what it was, but they were being instructed at Dulce, and for some reason it was agreed that our security force, our Delta force, would not carry conventional weapons at any time in this classroom around this area. And for some reason, one of the officers walked in with a conventional sidearm, and the alien killed him outright. Now, how that was done, I don't know. But on the video, on the monitor, his compatriots, or the Delta Force, saw him killed, and they went down on them to exact revenge, and it ended up that all 44 scientists and about 66 of the Delta Force were killed. It was just a complete massacre. So I just put this in the file with an interesting story, and it didn't come up again until Lazar, who worked at the S4, and we'll get into that later, read a report that documented this massacre. Now, the only thing different about the report that he read was that in the report he read, the massacre occurred somewhere around Area 51 or Route Lake.
Is there any indication of how they were killed, John?
No, just head wounds. In the report, it said they died of head
wounds. Again, that's a lot of relatives who are going to be requiring explanations and that sort of thing. How was it all explained?
Well, now remember, this is just, speculation, how they handle it. We've realized now that most of the people that get in this program do not have relatives for one reason or another. Either the orphans or their family has passed away or whatever. And it's essential that this kind of thing happens. Go this way because they don't want to have to take the time to explain away the death of a relative. So
the people who do these things are screened specially for this kind of work, which includes
especially, but they also have other methods. They go to the family and say, look, we're going to give you an annual or monthly stipend, But this is, national security. It's for God and country.
And so here,
Yeah.
so sign this and it'll be done.
Yeah.
Now I understand. Then I think it was an incident that had a lot of influence on you, didn't it? Bentwaters in 1980.
Yeah, Bentwaters occurred during 2 days at the end of December. We have a nice big Air Force base about 30 miles northeast of London called Bentwaters. At that time, it was still as an A-10 base, the Warhawk tank killer. And very strange things happened during those 3 days, culminating with it wasn't a landing, it was an appearance of a very weird aircraft witnessed by General Gordon Williams, who was the base commander, Major Ted Conrad, Colonel Chuck Hall, Larry Warren, and a few others. But at any rate, the incident did occur, but it was just a story as far as I was concerned. Many pilots had heard it. And in 1985, I ran into a friend here in Las Vegas, an Air Force friend that I knew in Laos. And he was transferring from the regular Air Force to the Guard, and he came over to the house. We started talking about stuff, and I asked where he was based, and mentioned Bentwaters, and I said, oh, that's supposedly where that sponsor landed in 1980. He said, no, John, not supposedly, it did. He said, I didn't see it because I was confined to quarters, but I know the guys who did it. And he said, I'll give you their names. I said, wait a minute. You're telling me this stuff is real, that there are flying saucers? Because at this time, I had no real interest in this stuff. My interest was in my plane, SR-71, U-2s.
I understand. What about your dad, John? I know your dad had great abiding interest in all of this. Didn't any of that rub off on you, or was it self-ignited?
No, because there was no proof. He was certain that they existed, and now that I look back, it's because of who his friends were. He was friends with General Vandenberg, who was first head of the CIA and the original member of MK-12. He was very, very close friends with Jimmy Doolittle, who was up to his eyeballs in the alien stuff. But, he never let on to me, and it was just not a part of my interest. Sure, everybody's interested in flying saucers, but, unless you see one or have hard evidence, it's not a part of your life. But in 1985, it became a part when Greg said, yeah, it's true, it's going on. And that's what involuntarily, I might add, launched me into this research.
Okay, so that was then really the beginning of your interest?
Correct.
All right. In 1983, you've written second attempt at public disclosure, Linda Howe, MJ-12, and something about HBO. What does all that mean?
This was when Linda Howe was contacted by MJ-12 in order to do a documentary, and they said that they would make available to her many, many thousands of feet of saucers and whatnot, and they wanted her to write a documentary that would be presented on HBO. And she contacted HBO, and HBO said, we'll do it, but before we air it, we want the filmed interview with the president, his chief of staff, and his national security council saying that this is true. And MJ-12 essentially led her on a round robin, so to speak, of different bases, facilities, and all kinds of things for about 8 months. At the end of which, it was just terminated. She never heard anything more.
Well, that must have been very frustrating. I'm going to have to ask her about that.
There was no more contact, and only a few years later did she run into somebody who was involved in that, and they said, I'm sorry it turned out the way it did, but we had no option. There was no further explanation.
Wow.
But the stories she told me of where they took her and things she caused is absolutely fascinating. And of course, Linda Howe is very articulate, very knowledgeable, and keeps both luminous notes. So, it wasn't just some story she was telling.
Mm-hmm. By the way, John, again on the subject of Linda Howe, I talked to her earlier today, and she said she's going to be on the way to New Mexico. She's had enough. There's too much going on down there, so she's going to be on her way to New Mexico and will be reporting to us from New Mexico.
Well, she was the leading authority on mutilation. She did that documentary for the agency affiliate Denver in 1990. what was it, 1980?
Right, I believe so.
And then her and I, after the Crestone meeting, drove down to see, drove down to Roswell. And oddly enough, here we are driving out in the middle of the desert, just about 15 miles north of where the first UFO crashed. And we're on this little teeny road, it's a dirt road, about 1 million miles from nowhere. And I'm driving along this truck, and we saw a dead cow. And I thought, well, here I am with the world's leading authority on cattle mutilations. We see a dead cow, so we get out there, and there was none of the classic cookie cutter incisions. But we started looking around, and we saw 3 others. And then we saw 2 others, and then I stood up on the bed of the truck, and I think we counted 34 cows.
Wow.
And so we went to the nearest ranch and asked the guy if he knew about the cows. He said, yeah, he said they died of some disease. Well, Linda Howe checked in with a veterinarian on this, whatever the disease was, and I don't remember what it is now. But the veterinarian said, no way. He said, if that had been that disease, that place would have been cordoned off within 100 months. Just a very odd, one of those unexplained.
It is, and I've heard Linda Howe tell exactly the same story, John. So I guess that's the way it happened.
That was her weird. That was like an
All right. She's still trying to get it out to the public today, and that's well over a decade now.
Yeah.
Then the Eisenhower Breeding 4 leaked to Hollywood producer and friend of Bill Moore.
Yeah, that was James Shamra, and one day he received inmate bail. This film, which was unfilmed, which he had developed, and it was the Eisenhower breathing as we've come to know it, and it was supposedly the breathing that Eisenhower got when he became president on the alien situation. It told the members of the site, told about the Roswell crash, it told what there, it told the original members of the Big 12 and what they planned to do. It's a very interesting document. Now, people say that I say the information was definitely true, not necessarily that the document itself was a legitimate document.
All right. Then you say 1985, my interest begins. Actually, it began a little earlier than that. What made you write that, John? Why 1985?
That's when Greg Wilson came to Las Vegas
and told you the story about them first? Yeah, okay, I see. Then 1986, and I remember this one very well. JAL 747 captain is followed by UFO 3 times as big as an aircraft carrier, and I remember that.
It was enormous craft, and following for an hour, he was on his way from Iceland to Anchorage. He was on Anchorage and then on Japan. And about an hour out of Anchorage at 32,000 feet this night, this thing appears in front of the aircraft. And it was not a passenger flight, it was cargo, and so there was only 3 guys in the cockpit, but they all saw it. Radar had it, returned, and sure it wasn't some gigantic reflection of some sort. They went down to 29,000 feet to see if it was possible, and it did. And then after about an hour, it just left. They landed, gave their FAA report. And other than a few comical news stories ignored by the press, specifically by Aviation Week in Space Technology, who is our premier aviation magazine, didn't give us one word, not even a sentence.
Well, for all your flying, John, and the one incident you have had that may have been something like that, you must talk to all kinds of other captains, lots of friends in the industry. Do they talk about this, John?
Not unless policy, cockpit etiquette bring this up. Unless I've been with the crew for a long time, unless it seems appropriate, right? But you find out that maybe a third of the pilots have seen them.
All right. We're getting up toward the modern day here, but first, let us look at 1987, and particularly the Gulf Breeze sightings, because that's still going on, John. It's still going on. We're getting photographs. There have been recent photographs, one which is a very picture. A lot of people are following up on that right now. And the same gentleman at Gulf Breeze continually seeing these craft. What is your assessment of what happened at Gulf Breeze?
Well, I first heard about it in 1987 when the Channel 4, I believe it was down there, put out the documentary, and it ended Ed Walters' film that he took out the back door of this craft hovering behind the tree line there, just over the tree line. And it was tremendously interesting, and there was no doubt in my mind that from the videotape that this thing occurred, but there were so many people jumped on it as a hoax, and they just did backflips to try and prove it was a hoax. But in my opinion, it was not. It was a true thing. And Ed Walters just took a tremendous amount of flack over the years for showing this film and for saying the things he did. But I believe him 100%.
He's not easy to get as an interviewee. I've tried to get Ed Walters a few times, and he's somewhat cantankerous and not very interested in publicity. Is that your take?
I would be too if I had undergone what he did. I mean, he just took it was worthless.
Wasn't there something about somebody who supposedly found a model in a Walters had rented or something about it? I can't.
He sold his house, and the people who moved in found in the attic a model of what he had videotaped made out of, I think he's a designer and architect, out of some architectural drawings that he made. Unfortunately, the people who tried to hoax this used architectural drawings that were dated substantially after this incident. And it was just a complete setup from beginning to end.
Well, and yet that and the guys who tromped around the field in England and in any other story, weak as it may be, John, that seems to make people laugh at all this and say, aha, see what a hoax. Those stories stick like glue.
Yeah.
50 people can look up in the sky and see a saucer or see a craft, and one stupid story comes along and it blows away all that good. How come? Why is that?
Because the disinformation is so firmly in place after 46 years that there's just no way. They've done a fantastic job of disinformation.
What is the John Lear hypothesis?
That was the hypothesis that I wrote in December of 1987 when I felt really strongly that people had to know what they're here, and they had to deal with our government to provide help at and security and secrecy of the overall program in return for advanced technology, some of the weapons, some of the other technology. And it was just something that I wrote then, which became known as the John Lear hypothesis. Since then, I've modified several of the views, but essentially it's the same.
So by 87, you were deep into it.
Deep into it, and that's when I gave the lectures at the Spring Valley Library, and that's when usually I think they have seating capacity for 300, and they never had a speaker that drew over, say, 40 or 50, maybe 60 people. And they had 700 people show up every time I came to speak.
Wow.
And it was then one of the guys who attended the lectures wanted to borrow some tapes. He came over to my house and brought with him a young scientist named Bob Lazar. And Bob Lazar had formerly worked in New Mexico at the LNL. What am I trying to say there? What I'm directing?
Was it Cynthia?
No, not Cynthia. I don't know how I could forget that name, but he worked there as a scientist, and he just didn't believe in UFOs at all. I mean, it was a joke to him. And we watched some tapes, and I loaned him some tapes, and over a period of a few months, he became more and more suspicious, not so much of the evidence of the UFOs, but of the strange ways in which the government tried to cover up or suppress some of the information. At any rate, there came a point where he had not been in the scientific community for working with it for several years. He decided that he'd try to get in well, he called Dr. Keller, who he had known from New Mexico.
Los Alamos, that's the SDI club.
Right. And the father of the H-Fund. Through Keller, he was given an interview at ECT, and over the process of, I think it was a couple of months, he was invited to go to work up at the test site. Now I knew that he was getting interviewed, but I didn't know when he was going. And then in December of 1988, he came up to my house, and I'm writing out some checks, and he's sitting in front of my desk, and he said, "What's going on, Bob?" And he said, it was like about 7:30 or 8. He said, "I saw a disc today." I thought he didn't know what. He said, "I saw a disc today." And I said, "There you are." He said, "There." And I said, "Oh my God, did you go to the test site?" He said, "Yeah, I just got back." And I said, "Well, then what are you doing here?" And he said, "Obviously, they bothered you. It's not what you done. Why don't you work up there for a while and then tell us what's going on?" He said, "No." He said, "You've taken Spencer a lot of flack over this. He said, I think you deserve to know." And then he launched into what he had seen during the time he was up there, which included a disc, some of the technology, and a lot of the briefing reports. And we talked for about 3 hours. Matter of fact, it was 3 hours and 17 minutes. Because when he got home, there was a knock on his door, and there was 2 security guys there who asked him to come along, that they had some questions. They took him downtown to an office there, and they said, "What were you doing in John Lear's house for 3 hours and 17 minutes?" And we had already cooked up a story where I was filling out a log page for his wife, who was a pilot. And it went from there. Anyway, he worked up there for about 4 or 5 months, and would occasionally come by and say what he needed.
What was Bob's job?
Bob's job at S4 was he was a scientist, he was the back engineer, one of the extraterrestrial vehicles. In other words, his job was to back engineer the propulsion of the saucer, find out how it works, and find out if he could degrade it. But he said there was only about 20 people, maybe 15 or 20 people working up there, and they didn't really have the resources or the equipment to do a proper job. And one of the reasons he went public was his disagreement of how the project was being handled. He felt that it should be more spread around, that people with the actual talent, more people with actual talent should be allowed to participate in the project.
So it was very compartmentalized.
Very compartmentalized, as all things are. But at any rate, on March 21st, 1989, I was over at his house, and it was a Tuesday, and he said, "John, they're going to test fly one of the craft tomorrow. Do you want to go see it?" I said, "Well, how can we do that?" He said, "Well, I know a place near Groom Lake. We can drive, and we can not be within the kind of confines of the restricted area, and we can watch it." So he and I think his wife and Jane Huff, who was the one who introduced me to Bob, drove up there, and I said, "When do they test?" He said, "Well, right at sunset." It's always on Wednesday evening, because statistically, that is the time of least travel in that particular area, Highway 275. So we go up there and unload it. We had my motorhome, and I had my Celestron 8 telescope, very powerful telescope, and we were unloading it, and here this thing comes up from behind the mountain, and they're watching it, not trying to focus it in. Very difficult, because I had the 90-degree objective in it, and up is down and left is right, but finally I got it, and there was no doubt in my mind. I was looking at a real flying saucer. It was kind of yellowish orange, and it was radiating something. It was glowing, and it settled back behind the mountain. And for all the people that try to discredit Bob and say, "No, he didn't work there, no, he's just making this all up," the fact is, he told me a day in advance exactly fly within, plus or minus a month for myself. So unless you think I'm in on the hoax, he's telling he did work there.
Well, of course, he's been way out on, there's been no remuneration that I'm aware. Yes, there is some kind of a movie underway, though, isn't there, John?
Yeah, they're making a movie on his life story.
Bob Lazar's life story.
Yeah. And it's New Line Cinema.
New Line Cinema, sure.
The movie company. I think they're well advanced in the project. I think they finished the script. I don't know too much about it, but.
Have you been involved in it at all? Not at all. So, through all these years of doing the interviews with you, John, as you've investigated and I've done radio, I have yet to see you be involved in any profit aspect of this, and you just haven't gone after it, and I'm sure you could have. I mean, your name is everywhere in UFO journals, and you have been at the very center of it, so you could have capitalized on it at any point.
No, I just wanted to find out what the truth is, and if that was possible, just for my own interest. I love flying, and that's my business, and I do it, 18 days a month, and I have 12 days off, and go out on my days off and take care of my lawn and the rest of the things I have to do. I'm totally absorbed, and it's very easy to get in this field, and your whole life is consumed with chasing down every little lead. I think I got to do pretty much as we're ever going to find out. And that was enough for me.
All right. You were working flying then, of course, as you always do. And this whole thing got you fired, didn't it?
Yeah, I was the senior captain with a very large charter company called American Transair. Senior captain on the Lockheed L-1011. I had been there for 6 years. I was a check airman. And July 7th, they called me to Indianapolis. And I really didn't know what it was about. And I walked into this room. There was the vice president of operations, the chief pilot, an attorney, and a guy from Human Resources. They held up an article that had been written about me, and they said, "John, is it true that you believe in flying saucers?" And I said, "Yes." And they said, "Why?" And I gave about a 10-minute summary, and they said, "John, there's just no possible way that anybody who believes in flying saucers could be a captain for American Transair. You're fired."
You're fired. Just like that.
I said, when I looked, I said, if it's, I tried not to involve the company at all. I said, how about if I just not give you more lectures and you take a look at this maybe 90 days down the line and you can see that, I can true to my word. He said, no, this is it. And so they gave me 3 months pay. The pilot signed a statement that I would pursue them, which I did because I couldn't afford to go very long without a paycheck.
Sure.
And I went to work for another company.
As you look back on your career now, John, how much effect, other than that particular incident, has there been?
I lost another job that I really would have liked to have had that involved the Air Force and NASA. It was a project that I really wanted to do, and I was actually hired by the contracting company. But they called me up one day, and the contracting officer said, "John, I don't know what you did to irritate the Air Force and NASA, but when we submitted your name as one of the pilots, they said not only no, but hell no." And
so there's been plenty of effect.
Yeah, I don't give lectures anymore. I never wrote a book. I don't intend to. This is really the only thing that I ever do is whenever you call, because you've been really fair with me and over the years, and it's just kind of nice to come on and chat once in a while.
Yeah, I think it's been a lot of years now. All right, so that's a pretty complete history of your involvement and of UFOs in general. I've got facts here, and anybody else who wants to fax us with a question, by the way, you're welcome to do it. At area code 702-727-8499. I'll give that number again. But here's a question for you, John. It's a classic. A lot of people speculate the reason UFOs are kept secret is that it will conflict with religion. Personally, I think UFOs and religion can cohabitate in reality with no conflict. I'd be interested in what John has to say on the subject.
As you know, Art, I steer totally clear about any religious aspect of this, because all of them is pure secret. So
it really does, yeah. And so I thought I just thought to get it out of the way.
The answer is yes. The overriding reason is religion. And before we go to the phone, because that's what I'm going to do.
We're right after the top of the hour.
This what?
Right after the top of the hour, we'll go to the phones.
Okay, well then give me time to ask 5 questions and answer them to avoid having people call up and ask the question.
All right, good. Let's. You want to start on that now?
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
If they're here, why don't they contact our president? Well, I think we all know the answer to that concerning our current president, but let's assume we had another president. And the answer is this. When you visit an ant farm, do you just talk to any old ant, or do you find clean and talk to them?
I'm not trying to like be funny, but as part of the answer, I guess I am.
Here's the second question. If the government couldn't cover up Watergate, how could they cover this up for 45 years? Well, the Watergate episode was an inside job to get Nixon out of office. Just as the assassination of President Kennedy was, but with a little more, but not much more tact. Now, that doesn't mean I agree with Nixon, but it was an inside job. The fact is, the government can cover up anything they want if it's important enough. And I can assure you that if you are reasonably well informed, then you only know about 5% of what there is to know.
I used to wonder about that, John, myself. I too have joined the club of you've got things you can see. So.
Now, let's see. If what you have to say is really true, John Lear, then why doesn't the government stop you? Number one, it really add credibility to my story. And number two, I don't think enough people for it to make any difference. The police systems are too well locked in for me to be of any great threat at all. Without hardware, there's simply no proof, regardless of the number of eyewitnesses.
It's true.
Why would any of the astronauts or military officers come forward and tell the truth? The answer is the simple reason that all of them are dependent on money, whether it's current employment or retirement pay for the very existence. For an astronaut or military man to come forward and the truth would pay him 3 minutes on hard copies and the rest of his retirement working in a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah, I agree. Although there was a recent statement by Neil Armstrong that would cause your teeth to rattle. Are you familiar with that at all?
No, what did he say?
Rather than paraphrase it, John, I'm going to dig it out of my computer during the top of the hour, and I'll give you the comment and let's see what you have to say about it. It's fascinating. Anyway, do you have one more?
One quick more is, what about the news media, your Dan Rather, your Tom Brokaw, your Ted Koppel? Why wouldn't they come forward and tell the truth? And for the very simple reason that they are glorified teleprompter readers. They have very little to say about what they are going to say. They can't come in one fine day and say, tonight I'm going to expose the UFO cover-up. There are just too many people over him for tests such as the station link to let him do that, notwithstanding the fact that all he has is words and no heart. So we got rid of those cycles.
They have, without fail, John, I would bet at least 4 out of 5 of them will be asked before the thing's over. Hey, have you heard this story about the mysterious ocean noise, the thumping or the heartbeat sound? They say they think it's man-made, and they're sending down divers, and they say it might be a ship, even thousands of miles away. These things do travel underwater, but on the other hand, it might be something else.
Well, I don't have any opinion on that.
He did it on his own because of the events that we just documented over the last couple of hours.
Yes, sir.
All right. Neil Armstrong, on the occasion of the anniversary of the Apollo mission, was at the White House about 3 weeks ago now, I guess 4 weeks ago, something like that. Anyway, Neil Armstrong rarely does public appearances, rarely has anything to say, but when he does, wow. What he said, and I took this quote directly from the NBC Evening News, was as follows. And he said this at the White House, quote, there are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers. There are places to go beyond belief. End quote. Neil Armstrong. What do you think he meant, John?
Well, it sounds like a pretty powerful statement. Both Neil and Buzz Aldrin and most of the astronauts, all of them have seen something, and they've all seen credible. And they've been challenged by NASA. Over the years, kind of where is that in their life to get it out? They can't be as blatant and say, yes, I saw this, yes, I saw that. So I think that's basically what he's saying. I've heard some of the astronauts come
The astronauts, particularly the ones that went to the moon, the early astronauts, have all had big trouble, John. Psychological troubles, a lot of divorces, a lot of drinking, a lot of trouble, period. And one source of that trouble, one might speculate, is that they have knowledge that they can't talk about. It's eating away at them. Would that be so?
Definitely. And that's one of the ways in which they keep this secret is through it's called gene gut hypnosis, where when they tell you this stuff, they give you a brief, and it involves pain, and it involves drugs, it involves hypnosis, so that it doesn't bother you that much. It doesn't always work on everyone, and so they have this knowledge. It's hard to know something with ramifications of this kind of thing.
They're not yeah, it would eat you alive, I suppose. John, just before we go to the phones, you have said, and this really is very different than a lot of pathologists today, that you've come to the conclusion that while you were digging in earlier years so that the world might know, you now don't think we ought to know, or that we have a right to know, or that it would be good for us to know, or how do you explain that and why?
Well, it has to do with religion, and no, people should not know this. This is something that your day might be none of their business. There's nothing they can do to influence or modify it anyway. It's best they just go on with their lives. They don't react to the spite of the things going wrong like that. They get on with their life. There's no reason to know this. And if they do this, the ramifications of this, it would bother them. It would eventually result in a breakdown of society.
Breakdown of society. How much do you know, John, without telling me what you know, how much do you still know that you haven't told me?
Not very much. It's told you much of stuff. The stuff I'm not talking about is religious stuff. And if you think a while, you can figure out what it's all about. Look at I told you most of it stuff.
But maybe not all.
No, not all, because there's a lot of sensitive, very sensitive stuff regarding.
All right. Let us take some calls, John, and I want to remind everybody the toll-free line is east of the Rockies only at 1-800-618-8255, and let us venture forth. Hi there, on our east of the Rockies line, you're on the air with John Lear. Hello there. No, you're not. The first time caller line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning. San Diego, yes.
Sounds like if the U.S. has technology that it really wouldn't be too big of a problem being confronted with other nations like Russia with its military. Do you think this type of technology can be implemented in such cases like war or anything like that?
All right. What about it, John?
Well, yeah, this may be the result of the breakdown of the Soviet Union. Maybe we told them what we got. And when the direction we wanted to go in, I don't know that for a fact, but it's possible that happened. Our technology age is about 30 years where everything related it. When you look at the space shuttle and all this, the satellites and the neat stuff we got going on, our technology age is 30 years ahead of them.
30 years ahead.
Just to give you an example of what I'm talking about 25 years ago, you read the paper about talking rock and technology.
Yes.
What that was they put a rock in an analytical chamber and gave it a pulse like hello. And the rock stored vibrations by measuring the vibration about half a second later. Measuring the vibrations, they could allow the word hello. Well, in 25 or 30 years later, what they have now is a beam into a room and pulling off measuring vibrations so that it would get us, any of the crystal structure like clouds or something like that, and form the conversation that tells us daily.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's some technology. On our east of the Rockies line, you're on there with John Lear. Good morning.
Oh,
Hi, where are you, sir?
I'm 11%.
11, all right.
Hello?
You're on the air. Go ahead.
I was going to talk about Project Lazar.
All right.
I was going to find out whether it's still being researched or if you've even heard of it.
Well, of course, we've heard of it. John, any comments on Blue Book? It is no more, or is it now going on below the surface?
It was established in 1948 or 49, and it was brought to a halt in 1959 by the Columbia Committee. And what they said is based on all their research, that flying saucers did not represent a threat to national security. Now, they didn't go as far as saying that they didn't exist. What they said was
They're not a threat.
they're not a threat. But the project was actually, the actual project was called Grudge. The research of different sightings, and yes, that's still going on. Project Grudge is an active project.
That's an interesting conclusion. To not rule out their existence, but state they have no, they're not a threat to national security doesn't make sense to me. If they exist, they certainly would be a potential threat.
Yeah. Well, we got away with it.
Yeah. On the toll-free line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning. Where are you calling from, please?
Kansas Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri. All right.
Okay, what I'm going to say here has to do with the religion aspect, if that's okay with Mr. Lear.
Sure.
Okay, now here's my opinion. This is just my opinion, so this might not mean anything to you at all. But I am a Christian, and what I am gaining from this is that, this is my opinion, that UFOs have actually been built under the watchful eye of the Illuminati. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, yeah.
What do you think about that?
Choose your words carefully.
It's possible.
For the reason to explain, you believe in the rapture. But I don't mean to go back into a religious show.
Yeah, please don't.
Okay.
Please don't. In other words, John believes there is a connection between religion and UFOs
Can you please expound on
that
that?
you would not find agreeable, and which you would rather not expound on, I think. John?
No, I don't think I do not want to expound on my religion.
All right, it's kind of like when you say this, I guess we have to cover it, John, but when you say this, it's like putting a box on the table that says, do not open this box, and then just leave it there, and everybody that comes past will inevitably open the box. And so they want to open the box. I understand that, but perhaps some boxes are best left unopened. On the wild card line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning.
I'm calling from the Bay Area, San Francisco area, and
Yes, sir.
I can prove right now that what Mr. Lear is saying is the opposite of the truth. Because the U.S. government is not covering up information about the existence of extraterrestrial life. Government intelligence agencies have been spreading the rumor that aliens are among us UFO researchers, and this has been documented by Charles Lane in his book Revelations. For example, in 1983, the proven disinformation agent Richard Dewey at Kirtland Air Force Base invited Linda Howe to airport children in alleged secret documents claiming aliens among us. Then in 1985, John Filet and J. Allen Hynek were invited to North Air Base, but generals there told that aliens are among us. And I think it's all a lie. The reason for it.
Well, all right, give that to us. You said you had proofs. So go ahead and lay it out.
I just told you, if you can just get John Filet's book Revelations, that proves that the government isn't hiding it, it's pushing it on UFO researchers. And the reason for that was the first psychology disinformation campaign stated by Stanton Friedman when he said, I believe that alien life has caused people to lose the faith in the value of the nation state and believe to the acceptance of world government, which is exactly what the power elite they're more careful corporations.
To lead us toward the one world government. At one time, Jane told the story about elephants.
We've been able to but there is and also out of this we actually take on gravity wave
So you no longer have it. That's about as close as you come to confirming. All right, on the toll-free line, you're on the air with John Lear. Hello there. No, you're not. On the first-time caller line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning.
Hi, I'm Randy from Leavenworth, Washington.
Hi, Randy.
I'm calling to ask earlier about the 3 different types of aliens that I did a subscribe to a newsletter and talk about all the government research and the different types of ships are different aliens in different sectors in the universe. Then there's the reptilian forms, the insectoid, and the human type.
Well, there may be a lot more than that. John, how many are there?
well, opinion, my opinion, types that are visiting Earth at one time or another with various agendas. Some of them don't have anything to do with what's going on here, they're just coming down to take a look. But they're all different types. And some of the, you have a chance to look at it, you would actually die of fright because they are so alien to what we are used to.
How's that?
That sounds good.
Oh, great, thanks. You would die of fright. Are they able to appear to us in a form different than that which would cause us to die of fright?
Apparently, someone could do that, but according to some of the abduction stories, they hide themselves. You can't get a look. You can see their shape, but you can't see their face. And that's prevalent. If you read John Mack's book, it's prevalent throughout all the abductions. They cannot see the thing.
Yeah, it's true. I had John Mack on the program about 3 weeks ago, John.
Very interesting guy, and I really enjoyed his book. It was more of the same, but it is interesting stuff.
It is. You know about the incident in which some young lady apparently set him up?
Yeah, I thought that was really disgraceful, but it's just media tactics. I don't know what she gained by that. It's just...
or what agenda, or whose agenda she was serving by doing that.
It was just an unfortunate incident.
On the east of the Rockies line, top of the morning, you're on the air with John Lear. Where are you calling from? We're Texas, okay.
There's things you don't want to talk about for religious purposes, but I wanted to tell what's true. All the cosmonauts are these huge angelic-like beings, but there are clouds. The clouds that they are something was going to happen, and that was before Chernobyl blew out. And giant plan but becomes a complete expense fight.
Yeah, it really is true. With regard to the angelic beings, John, I also remember that report. Do you?
Yeah. When they had their arms crossed, they were smiling. They were smiling because Chernobyl was going to happen.
Now Russia wants Bibles
An angel is there.
Russia now wants Bibles in their schools.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you. That's no guardian angel, is it, John?
I'd like to have.
I wonder how she could conclude that it was because of Chernobyl. That's really strange. On the other hand, I recall you saying one thing to me, John, that has haunted me for years and haunts me today. We have had a number of guests on this radio program about life after death. Inevitably, in every warm and fuzzy life after death story, people rush toward the warm, inviting light. Down the tunnel, into the light. And once you said to me, John, don't go toward the light, it's a trick. Go toward the darkness.
Well, I remember I qualified that by saying that's what Whitley Strieber told.
Well, it still bugs me to this day, John, because what if I had to make that choice?
Well, right now I'm going towards the darkness.
You are, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh boy, that really drives me crazy. On our toll-free line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning. Where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Kodiak, Alaska.
Kodiak, Alaska, yes, sir.
At this stage, I've heard John talk about time travel, and I'm convinced that time travel is possible, and it's already happened. I opened those fields when I was 30 years old, and that together with my birth date and the scriptures unlocked the whole mystery.
All right, sir. John, time travel. We've talked about it before. It's one of my favorite subjects. Do you believe time travel to be possible?
No question about it.
No,
That is
really?
absolutely possible. You can go forward in time, much easier than you go back, but you can certainly go back in time.
I once wondered, as have many people, and I'm going to make you tell me it's not true again, whether you and Mr. Lazar have thought of trying to construct something to traverse time.
Well, yeah, we thought about it, but it's a big deal. I mean, you just can't want to make this stuff. You can allow something so that, sheer speculation that it's going to be fun to try, but, we don't have to stop. Certainly got market.
Just an idle question of curiosity, John. If you had some advice,
Something we were going to go forward because that's a lot easier to do than going back.
that was going to be my question. Where would you go? Time-wise.
Well, all you have to do to go forward in time is create a strong gravitational field, and you more or less just stay there while all the rest of the world passes as time goes by. Then when you lose the gravitational field, you're wherever they were.
I see. All right, on my Eastern Rockies line, right here with John Lear. Hello.
Yeah.
Where are you, sir?
San Antonio, Texas.
San Antonio, Texas. All right. Go ahead.
I've got a story about a friend, dear friend of mine I've known about 12 years. He's retired. And I'm not going to leave the name for seeing this going to give his permission to do so. But he made a story to me and my wife about his encounter with spaceship. And he told me that he was on his way to West Texas. Right? And he had to go in Tampa. And he and his wife had seen this aircraft, but it wasn't an aircraft, it was a long disc sitting. When the quantum vehicle came back, hovered up and down the left, right, and the left. And then these Air Force planes on the side, and he flies the flights now. He said there's no way he wants to have a talking to there.
All right, sir. Thank you. Well, that's the story. It's true. Once you've seen one yourself, your attitude really changes, doesn't it, John?
Yeah, it really does. But, it's so few of us to see those things. I'd love to see it. I saw the one that God's looking up to. and I saw that at night. Now, my wife, Marilyn, who didn't believe any of this before, as a matter of fact, it only came to split up our family for my she's from that city. And she just didn't believe any of it. And here in 1986, I was on a flight to Frankfurt, and she and my daughter Jackie were out and about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And Jackie looked up to hey, Mom, look, a UFO. And look out. And here's 2 of them at a very low altitude, less than a quarter of a mile away. They were going, I was right carefully. They were coming from Nellis and went around to the southern part of sunrise. Now, that's an extremely rare sighting to get in the daytime. And it changed her opinion. Of course, she said, well, I saw him, but I still don't believe her, but she did see them.
Well, maybe that was the sighting that saved John Lear's marriage.
It definitely was the sighting that saved my marriage.
I really can't understand that, John. You know where I'm about here. You know what I'm close to.
Yes.
And I see things quite frequently, John. And I'm very hesitant to talk about them. Frankly, I had one major sighting of an aircraft I told you about, or a craft. I don't know if it was an aircraft. But I see other things, John, in the night sky a lot. And now there are those who say that activity up here has lessened or gone away or been moved. Can you tell me anything about that?
Well, there certainly hasn't been a good sighting in say 2 years. And there's a facility in northern Nevada where they do a lot of testing. And with the UFO testing, I don't know. But there is a major facility up there. There's also increased activity down in Holland, which is the new aircraft we've got. But yeah, there definitely needs to be much testing. There used to be just after Bob and I started talking about this, we used to be able to go up to test sites and see all kinds of stuff that we started studying.
I wonder if it is the intention that's been given up there. There's been a lot of people hanging up there. Of course, they're trying to get more property now and isolate the area. And there's a kind of a government grab going on for property, as you know, John.
Yeah, and I don't really understand what the big deal is, because like in 1980, there was at least 30 AAOs, which are air access only areas in the United States, all this weird stuff went on. So, Groom Lake is just one of a number of facilities.
It has been a pretty intense area.
It's been a pretty intense area, and they are, I'm sure they're going to get going on it. And at present, the testing has been severely curtailed for the past year.
Until too many cameras, too many people. On the toll-free line, you're on there with John Lear. Where are you calling from, please?
How are you?
All right, get your radio.
Yeah, I've got it.
Where are you, sir?
KBI.
KBI. We're holding this from east of the Rockies.
Oh.
Thank you very much for the call. You're on the wild card line. You're on the air with John Lear. Hi. Hi. Where are you? All right.
Hi, John. Hey, how you doing? Good. Been a long time since I've been in Wichita. I wonder, are you familiar with the writings of Renee No, what's that? Religious writings concerning metaphysical stuff. How about stuff like that in the day? You said you go towards the dark light instead of the light. Are you familiar with any of that? No, but that's an interesting thing, a dark light. I haven't heard that. Yeah, you gotta read the Testament of the Dead. And I would recommend people like you to get in touch with people like, say, the Dalai Lama, and talk to them about this kind of stuff and see what they think. People that are realize or that study mystical or metaphysical stuff, they're in that genre.
All right, thank you. John, you don't seem inclined to really be pursuing this much more. In other words, my assessment of you psychologically is that you have reached some kind of inner conclusion. And stop me if I'm wrong, and you're kind of settled about it now. Is that right?
Settled and fatalistic.
6'2". All right, fatalistic.
Yeah, I remember in my wildest dreams when I started getting into this that any motorist find me out as much as I did. And when I found out as much as I did, it was very interesting and it was in one way extremely satisfying. But I didn't think that I'd find out much more than I did. So, like I say, there's a lot of guys that just keep plugging along. But I think I found out pretty much what's going on, so I'm continuing my writing.
And fatalistic is the right word. That's kind of ominous for a lot of us, of course. All right, on the Eastern Rockies line, we're on there with John Lear. Hi.
Yeah, this is Kevin from KTLA.
KCMO, Kansas City, yes.
Yeah, I'm going to ask John a question about the time travel. I heard that you go on so far forward in time and so far backward.
So I think you can go both ways as long as you want. And the answer is a paradox. You go back in time and kill your father with fear. The answer is with fear of the partner. But if you can go back and kill your father, you have to okay. That's all I'm hearing about that.
Right, thank you very much. In other words, we will affect the local, what kind is local? Is one right?
That sounds like
What kind is local? You will affect the immediate sphere or time that you take is active, but something like time can back in on itself and everything is so correct and you'll still be there something. Okay. On the Eastern Rockies line, you're on the air. Good morning.
Yes, sir. I was wondering, will we be able to give a tape of tonight's program?
Yes, ma'am. Where are you from?
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City. Yes, indeed you will. If you'll listen, I'll try to do it, all right?
Okay, I just wondered if you would.
All right. I'd be glad to do it. Sure, if you want to take this program, the first 2 hours we spent on a very careful chronicling of UFO history, John's involvement in it, and all the rest of it. You can get a tape by calling right now, area code 503-664-7966. Let me give that again. Area code 503-664-7966. And on the Eastern Rockies line, you're on the air with John Lear. Hi.
hi, how you doing?
Where are you, sir?
You're in Pennsylvania.
Good. You're on the air.
FLP.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, love it. Outstanding.
Glad you're enjoying it.
Okay. From Siller, I have a couple questions. First of all, are you familiar with Guardian? Yeah. You are. Guardian is legitimate? Well, I don't know. Okay, you're familiar with Guardian. I know that he's a good researcher. I'm sure he's not faking all this. But, other than that, yes, I am familiar with the case. Okay. Second of all, I've been trying to control my patience. I'm kind of nervous now.
Oh, well, relax. Just try to remember what you wanted to ask.
I'm trying. Second of all, without getting very in-depth at all about religion, because I know it's a touchy subject, but do these civilizations, alleged civilizations, do they purport to be religious the way we
That's a reasonable question, sir. John, do these beings themselves have a religious faith that we are aware of?
Well, to answer your question, let me tell you what Willie Strider said about that when he was abducted at the I want to thank you on behalf of everyone for making me come on the show.
thoroughly appreciate it.
So thank you.
You seem to be getting everything right on. For people that call up, they've read a book, or they're real religious, they obviously haven't been following the stuff covered in the show. The cover, the military involvement, everything. You seem to be right on. I respect the fact that you don't want to go into the religion aspect because I've read a little bit, I think, of what you outlined there in a couple of different books. But again, the astronaut, the whole thing of keeping quiet, people can't understand why are you talking about this? And the stuff really is happening. I'm getting announced in our station in KFD that say this is warning, this is not the views of this station. That's it's shocking. It's very shocking. A lot of this is that my religion believes simply I believe above all else, above anything else, that there is the God, the creator of all things, and why these things that be happening, God takes care of other elements of nature in accordance with the plan. Why can this not be somewhat along the wrong plan?
In the plan. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, okay, all right, sir, hold on. Listen to the answer. Go ahead.
What's the question?
Well, the question was really, he walked around in 6 ways from somebody, but he's asking, why can't there be the God we all know, and not we all know, but many of us think he is there, who's in control and who's just... I'm not properly asking. In other words, why do God and UFOs and the aliens have to be mutually exclusive?
They don't, but let me tell you a story that Bob Lazar told me. We're talking about the universe, the ramifications of it all, and he's telling you the theory that the universe expands until it can't go any further, and then it starts contracting, and time reverses, and everything comes down to its original size, less than a half size, and it starts spreading out the other direction. First thing only exists the travel value of the speed of light. And so we keep the conclusion now, whoever made that's kind of...
Whoever made that's okay, well, I hope that serves as an answer to his question. You're on the air coast to coast AM with John Lear. Where are you calling from, please? Yes, sir.
I have a copy of a videotape by Lazar. I was wondering if Mr. Mayor was familiar with it.
Oh, he sure is.
And I was wondering if you could give us some comments about the other two areas that's more. This Lazar talks about the physics of time travel and the church part of the...
All right, we're only got about a minute, John. Can we do it?
I'm not sure what the areas he's talking about. Yes, that they have all those things there. Once, I told the stories where the door was open and he walked into the ground to do some work. They'd been there about 2 hours, and when he came out, it was exactly the same time before he went in. And when he asked what the explanation was that, they said because the fellowship was trying to shoot.
There is a way people can get the videotape that the caller mentioned about Bob Lazar's experiences and his explanation of what these craft are and how they work. It is very educational. How do they get it?
Right to Trigon Corporation. Now, write the address down because there is no telephone number. You call up, they just ask for information. There is no telephone number. It's Trigon, T-R-I-D-O-T, Trigon Corporation. 1324 Southeastern. And that's as long as it's 89104. And it's $29.95. It's $29.95 plus $3 shipping and handling. And what you get is a 40-minute tape. It's called the Lazar tape, an excerpt of the government Bible, which is a chronological account of government UFO activity details and Bob's experience working with recovered flying saucers through the Department of Naval Intelligence to explain the propulsion, construction, and details of where the aliens are from, including what Dr. Teller has to say about bottom children.
All right, good. That's how to get it, everybody. And we'll repeat that address down the line here somewhere. On our toll-free line, you're on the air with John Lear. Where are you calling from, please?
Yes.
Memphis, Tennessee, all right? Yes.
Mr. Lear, can I just speak with you?
Thank you.
On discussion of accident services, would you please reconsider and go towards the bright light, the white light, not the dark?
Sure.
There's another body of work known as the Egyptian Book of the Dead, others Tibetans. And please research that.
Yeah, I'd like to say something about the Bible, one of the most important books in the history of mankind. The New Testament, like much of the Old Testament, is in many places a greatly altered version of the original account on which it is based. In addition, probably less than 5% of all that Jesus and his original followers taught is found in the Bible. Many of these changes and deletions to the New Testament were made by special church councils. The editing process began as early as 325 AD during the First Council of Nicaea and continued well into the 12th century. For example, the Second Church Council of Constantinople in 553 AD deleted from the Bible Jesus' reference to reincarnation.
Yes. I just wanted to be sure that I got that out, that about the bright light, not the dark light.
All right, thanks. John, why the dark light?
Why from there?
Yeah.
Well, because Clint, it would be, if you go to the bright light, you have the conscious choice of which direction to go. And supposedly, according to him, at that point, if you go to the white light, the grade, whoever is in charge of this thing, can decide what to do. So they can either take you back into another body, or they can put you in a black box. Now, the reason that they would be able to choose what Whitley said is anywhere from 12 to 40,000 years of black box. He was thinking it was a very frightening experience. Now, I don't mind being by myself. I could probably spend a couple of years by myself, but I'm not sure where you can spend 40,000 years. Whereas if you go towards the dark, you come right back into a terrestrial body and you can do what you want. Whatever body you got into.
All right. Dear John White, this comes from Santa Barbara. Do you think there are any off-planet guys who are trying to help rescue us from this prison? Any hope for the future? Andy, Santa Barbara. Possibly. All right. Tantalizingly, just possible. Also, this question, John, the Philadelphia experiment. Do you believe it really happened? Is there any connection between it and the UFOs?
Yes, obviously something happened during the Philadelphia experiment. Actually disappeared or not, I don't know. But there's enough evidence that something very, very strange happened during that time. Due to the government's research into magnetism.
All right, and one more fact. It's from Lawrenceville, Georgia. Jimmy Carter had seen a UFO. He was given a top secret clearance. Thus, he was shot down when he became president.
Yeah, he filed his report in 1969 as when he ran for president. One of his platforms was, I believe in UFOs because I personally see my I'm elected president. I believe that all this information about UFOs is turned over to the public. Naturally, when he became president, he didn't hear one word, and that's because the president agreed to a certain depth on the problem.
All right. On our toll-free line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning.
Yes.
Where are you, sir? Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was listening to people about Delta. Yeah. I really sort of feel experienced, but I think
Okay, how did that happen?
for one thing, I would think that people were killed for Delta.
Not many people.
I don't believe anyone killed for Delta.
Oh, okay. But there would have been a different group.
Yeah, I would think so.
What would you say it is, Paul? What group was it?
I don't know, but you come out of the Delta community. It would just be noted right here for and seeing people.
So he may be partially right because he obviously was in the community, but there are certain parts of Delta which are unknown to other parts. So it's possible that you're correct, and that was a very secret portion of Delta.
All right. Thank you, caller. John, from the state of Washington, is there any possibility that some of these aliens could come from beneath the Earth instead of from outer space?
Yeah, definitely.
Really?
Okay.
Do you give much credence to the dimensional theories, John?
Well, I didn't used to. There seems to be a body of evidence now that there is some kind of extra-dimensional creatures appearing here.
Right. You're on the Coast to Coast AM with John Lear. Good morning. Where are you, please?
I can't do that.
Yes, sir.
I just have a question is, Mr. Everybody thinks the Betty Andrews story and her beliefs kind of pertains to the religious aspect.
Yes, I read that before, and what can I say? He definitely is very religious, and she had a very religious experience during her abduction. I think that whoever they are, they cater to those specific beliefs.
Yeah, that's basically my question. I didn't know if your beliefs followed along those lines because they were sort of similar to the lights and putting people back in the bodies and that sort of thing. And I was just curious if you knew about that, and if you had any thoughts on it.
Well, it's been some time since I read the Andrews affair, but she did have a very interesting experience.
Right, yeah, I read those notes when it's called Watchers by Ray Fowler, and it was pretty interesting. I'd recommend it to anybody out there.
We're going to be interviewing Ray Fowler again pretty soon on Dreamland, instantly.
Oh, that'd be really great.
All right, thank you. We've had him before, and I was neglectful. Let me do this now. We have a new affiliate beginning this morning. It is KKARAM in Omaha, Nebraska. So I would like to officially welcome Omaha, Nebraska to the network. And let's keep moving here. On Wildcard Line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning.
Good morning, Rob in Vegas.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
In 1952, I wrote a book by Manny Porter called All and Everything. And I talked about the spaceship current going all over the place. And I went to work on it for just but in 55, we went on the air with commercial television in London. And we had a couple there, and I can't remember the name. But a half-hour show, and the man who was interviewing was really trying to break them down the little ponies and keep hurting, of course. After that, I went on the phone, went to dinner, went to my place, and talked about footsteps and books. And these people were very authentic, and I do remember the name, the American couple. And we went to a series of meetings in London, and this was back in 1955 and 6. And these were all what I call good and wholesome people, not phony baloney type people. And of course, I lost touch with them. And I wonder if each of us, are you familiar with book called and everything? We talked about contact, what's your contact? But I can't think of the last name. My name goes to this group that are working.
Say the name slowly, Bob.
Gordjeff, Gordjeff. Yes, another Gordjeff. And he wrote the book way back in the 40s. Called All and Everything. And there's another subsequent time was with this couple in London. And I don't remember their name, but I remember going to some groups. This is back in the 50s. And I do remember that book, but I don't remember why I could make it count. Right? But he talked way back then about spaceships. Yeah.
All right, Bob. Thank you very much for the call. We appreciate it. I guess I'm not enough knowledge to really be commenting about it. You're on the air close to most AM with John Lear. Good morning. Where are you calling from, please?
Tim from KFD.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? I want to know if you could tell me anything more about the alien picture. Could you tell us earlier about that experience that you had? And could you possibly tell me the internet number and how to get them doing that when you finally do something that up?
All right. I will. Thank you. Yeah, he's right. John, I have a young man who has What he believes is an alien creature, the body of an alien creature, which is not dry. It's a pretty good size. It's very hard to describe, John. I've got very good 35 millimeter photographs of it. I've got a videotape of it as well. I'm getting them scanned and put up on the internet, probably by the middle of next week. The thing looks, the closest I can come, John, is it almost looks bat-like, but it's not a bat. It's a pretty good size. It's a couple of feet tall, 2-3 feet tall, and it is very, very weird. Now, without seeing it, it would be impossible for you to comment, but it supposedly came from Puerto Rico, where there's quite a bit of UFO activity, hasn't there?
Yeah.
And so I will show you that photograph when I get a chance, John, and then you'll be able to comment.
That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, okay. It's just something I'm working on right now. On the toll-free line, you're on the air with John Lear. Where are you calling from?
How you doing?
Hi, John.
Basically, what I'm calling about is just throw out another theory here as these things do happen. It's different, first off, I don't really buy that any alien creatures really buying giving people food because the simple fact it would be easier to kidnap a group of people to then raise them for as cows. What is that?
Well, what about...
Are we being broadcast?
Maybe we are. Well, anyways, some of the other things, like you said, like when the Karens in Cambodia, and they had they're supposed to have a firefight with them. It would be a very good place to collect human bodies to study the anatomy, because you wouldn't have to worry about taking and then probably bring them back and things like that.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and truthfully, why are they so interested in this place? I mean, truthfully, when we met next to the woods, so to speak, in our galaxy, what is so interesting for it?
All right. Why us is the question, John. Why us? Why are they interested in us? I can almost answer that. I mean, when you look at the Earth, it's a hustle and bustle of activity and growth and beings and intelligence, and it's a contrast to everything around it, right?
My opinion is it's not clear that they can't hear me now and say, oh, yeah, there's these places around. I think they created a whole thing, and that's their interest.
So they have an intense interest in following their handiwork.
Yeah, their handiwork being the breeding of the human race over 200,000 years, which they made 65 separate corrections to make it what we are today, which is the breeding virtue. Right now that the experiment is over, I think that, continuing on. Each of these separate corrections, they have to, when they bring in the new model, they have to recall the old model. And they can set up with, mass play, flood, gyroscopic studies with the Earth, which I mentioned all this EPA and BLM stuff about, airplane during our trash. And every 23,000 years, the Earth rotates on its axis and takes up a different rotation and essentially cleans everything out. So why are they so worried? We're about, 1,000 years overdue for the rotation. So why are we worried about all this trash?
You're talking about a polar reverse.
Yeah, I just it used to take me 7 minutes to drive to the dump, but now it's reality.
Time for the big cleaning.
It's all that we done for them. You don't have to worry about that.
All right. On the toll-free line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning. Where are you calling from?
How do you think it's all right?
All right. We're holding us east of the Rockies, sir. For about 5 more minutes. Thanks very much for the call. Wildcard line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning.
Good morning, it's wonderful, Joe. Sunshine here. I think that was Betty and Barney Hill, wasn't it?
So he said, which side?
Oh, I didn't know when a yearbook came out. They learned, oh, okay, my mistake. But anyway, they get a move to the Times Hurricane or the Times San I believe. They were in there for some time, and yet when they came out, it was lost still.
Yeah, they have that thing.
Yeah, wonderful show. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks for making the call in the morning. On the toll-free line, you're on there with John and Lear. That was it, I guess, John. On the first time calling line, you're on the air with John Lear. Hello.
I'm calling from Albuquerque.
Yes, sir.
Actually, in just about 500 feet from the throttle test range.
Uh-huh.
Sandy thing. I had tried here about 2 years ago, since then I talked to 3 of my neighbors who have been riding, a retired school teacher and a real estate agent.
You're not having some of that famous New Mexico Towels hum right now, are you?
No, I do hear the same voice once in a while, and it sounds like a diesel truck in the distance or machinery clanging around, but I think I'm hearing construction going on.
Now, was your sightings within the Montana storage area?
Well, I was driving up on the highway driving home, and this was a large orange glowing sphere that went over my car and was heading south into that area.
Yeah, well, it's been a while before the spectacular line first got into this. Paul Renwick had just lived in the Fort Hill section there. And he set up in 1980 a videotape which ran 24 hours a day, changed every 8 hours. And he got some spectacular photos of Don't Shake objects taking off from the Montana storage area.
Well, I sometimes wonder if, if they're saying that there's an action going on up in the Nevada, maybe some of it's moved here.
But you there, Holland.
I've also got 2 acquaintances. They don't know each other, but they have told me that they were involved. One worked for the contractor, and the other worked for somebody from an architectural design firm that built all these underground bunkers back in the early 80s out there. And they said that these bunkers were as big as a football field. Solid concrete, they were huge. And of course, nobody knew what they were being built for. And there was no runway.
Yeah, I had a friend that went in one of those things, thinking that there was nothing in there, but that was absolutely enormous. Yeah. And, but there was nothing in there at the time he went in.
All right, well, thanks.
What can I ask one more question?
Yeah, very quickly.
Yeah. Do you think that anything will come of this Roswell investigation?
All right, and yes, Representative Schiff, of course, is off and running on the investigation, as you know, John.
Yeah.
Do you think anything will come?
No.
0? Why do you think that?
Well, if the cover out there, we're not going to let some Congress go in there and find out what's going on.
Yeah, I suppose at the levels all this moves, a conversation is not much. Lots of people want to talk to you, so back to the phones. On the toll-free line, you're on the air with John Lear. Where are you, please?
I'm in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, all right.
Thank you.
KWN, go right ahead.
Hello?
Turn your radio off, ma'am.
It's on.
All right, go ahead.
Mr. Lear,
Yeah.
a few callers back, a lady called asking you about the Bible, and you told her something that Jesus said about reincarnation. What did he say about that?
He believed in it, and he tried to tell us that it was true, but it was taken out of the Bible by the Council of Church.
He did believe in it.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Really.
Really?
However, it was taken out.
Yeah, he was.
How could, if I told that to somebody, how could I prove it?
You could get the Bill Graham book, The God's Secret, it's there.
What's the name of the book?
God's Secret.
The God's Secret.
Right.
He goes into it a great length.
And what is that author's name again?
Bramley, Bramley.
Can I get that in the bookstore, I wonder?
I think you can order it in the bookstore, yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for the call, man. Have a good morning. On the wild card line, you're on there with John Lear. Hi.
Radio Free America.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Lear. I believe in the Bible.
and like to talk about the Philip and how that can correlate into these things that Dawn has been describing. Also, the fact that Linda Howe reported on these cattle mutilations, that maggots or flies can touch the carcasses for days. Now that's something that seems unnatural to me, and I'd like to ask you, throughout the Bible, there is a conflict of good and evil, and these things that you guys are describing do not sound very good to me.
Not warm and fuzzy. John?
That's correct. That could be. We would not be having an idea of one question.
John, why do you think so many people, so many ufologists and people in the various associated fields, want to present that always as warm and fuzzy? Why?
I think that we could imagine a advanced society not being more, but we figure, well, sure, after all of that civilization thousands of years ago, things certainly must have worked out their problems and just want to come down and help us get here, camp here, and aid, and help us get for our food problem and all the rest of it. But certainly reinforced by these Spielberg.
Yeah, it is true. John, a few quick ones for you by facts from Alaska. A question for John, a paraphrase. The sheep know the voice of their master. Will we know?
I don't know nothing about analytical, but I can take it together.
Well, I can look though, I guess, try and look them out here. The sheep, us, know the voice of their master. Will we know when that voice comes? When it is that they are our master, I guess is the question.
Yeah.
No comment. Alright, if it's not too late in the show, could you ask John about my guess concerning camel mutilations? Remember, I guessed that the mutilations were to garner the components of a medium used to proliferate recombinant DNA research.
Yeah, that's speculation, what it's all about.
Dear John, since 1988, that year to the present, round balls of light have been hovering above my house day and night. This is not a hoax. I've been taping these round balls of light during the night hours hovering above my house within a block at the very most. Since 1989, I have been videotaping them, and I've got these videotapes. What would you suggest somebody with evidence of this sort does?
There's not much to I know a few people that have had phenomenal awareness, and I don't know if they are,
But they are.
But they are. Yeah.
Is John implying that the God of our Bible was created by aliens?
No, I'm not getting into that.
Okay, we'll just drop that one and go back to the phones. On the wild card line, you're on the air with John there. Hi.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Art.
And I wanted to ask John what he thought of the possibility that the deaths at Dole City were somehow related to the introduction or the further introduction of the AIDS virus into population, and also what his feelings are about the government being somehow involved in the development of the AIDS virus.
All right, thank you. John, AIDS, what do you think about AIDS?
Well, as I said before, there's no question in my mind that the government developed it. The specific doctor, the Navy doctor, that actually did the research, and I believe the name was Ryan Donovan. And we made it what it was for. I don't know. Some people say it was to eliminate or decrease the population, but certainly there ought to be better ways to do it, because they took a long time to get back, and also it would cause a lot of suffering. I think our hospitals would be overtaxed before we start reducing the population. So when people say, well, it's just the government trying to reduce the population, possibly, but you think even they would be able to figure out a quick way to.
Well, I know that there was congressional testimony. It's on the record, John. An inquiry of some scientists about whether such a thing could be created that would produce or suppress the human immune system.
Yeah, I got a copy of that.
Yeah.
They got the initial $10 million funding to create that.
So that much is at least on the record. All right. On the toll-free line, you're on the other John Lear.
Good morning, how are you?
Fine, so where are you?
I'm KOG of San Diego.
Excellent.
So, I have some questions about one of the guys you had on earlier. Wrote the Montauk book.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Preston Nichols.
Preston Nichols, I have him on the program, yes.
All right. I wondered your guest could make any references to some of the things he said in his books, like the alien tree or things like that.
All right.
From the Montauk books too closely. As Nichols said several times, all I can say is specifically, yes, there's an alien tree. But other than that, let's have more specific questions.
No, I guess he just wanted a general reference when you were familiar with it, whether you agreed with it.
Yeah, we certainly do, that's true.
All right, one more stab at this, John. This comes from Veronica in Wichita. I'm a Christian, but not so arrogant a Christian to believe that we are the only form of life God created. As the Bible says, in my Father's house there are many mansions. Were it not so, wouldn't he have told us?
Somebody had to create everybody, right?
Somebody did. Some entity, something did it. I think most of us believe that a power far greater than ourselves had something to do with this. It's just too complex. All right, on the toll-free line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning.
Okay, hi. I'd like to say that just have a common sense and it's one instance and stuff like that. There probably is, even if there is one entity, I'm not saying there probably is, even if there is, and I go through life and have to go see him and test it, I'm going to appeal to a higher court. He's got fear. I'm in bed, there would have to be that. But anyway, on the time travel?
Yes.
Okay. Time travel, the way you're looking at it, I think time travel back in the past, there's no way you can see time from back in the past, but you'll never be able to tell what's your lifetime. And as far as in the future, if you want to be able to do that too, but you'll never be able to come back to your own time. Just on,
What do you basing these comments?
well, it's like, okay, let's say the extraterrestrial. Okay, it'd be a fool not to think that we're the only ones in the universe.
Well, wait a minute, we are switching topics.
I'm going to explain it.
All right.
Okay, it's like planets and other galaxies, we can look at them right now. And what we're looking at is what, it is right now. It's time from way back in. We're going way back in.
That's true.
So there may be inhabitants. And we just, the only way we're ever going to know is to be able to travel faster and speed away. That's the only way we'll ever know.
Which can't be done. It's very easy to technology. I don't have to disagree with you on time travel. You can't go forward in time and come back.
Well, I'm sure you can go forward, but I doubt very seriously you'll be able to come back.
Well, okay, we'll disagree on that.
It's just common sense, though. I mean, I don't understand how you think you can come back to a time that you can go forward. Unless you're talking about this gravitational thing where you hold off and you're going forward in time and you're never leaving the time that your time stands still while you're doing it.
Where are you talking from?
When I get my time machine, I'll come and pick you up.
Do you think, John, in your life that you will do that? You do not? Why is that such a quick no? I mean, if you had a chance, opportunity, with Lazar and others and lots of funding, would you ever do it?
No,
But it's very complex. I don't think it can be done like this too. Retire at 60, and I hope to have maybe a couple of years depending on my bond. So certainly there's nothing I want to go back and see or go forward. It makes me confident can't be done.
Toll free line, you're on the air with John Lear.
Morning, Art. Cliff, I'm with Arizona, FYI.
Yes, sir.
I was wondering if John might have privileged information that might give us a clue of our future. Have we been told anything that might tell us what we're headed?
Well, I would say that in my brief career as I take several predictions, 2 or 3 of them, and they all have fallen. So I may get this reach or 2, but I'm a terrible prophet. Okay.
Thank you very much for listening to FYI. On the Wild Card line, you're on the air with John Lear. Hi.
Hi.
Yes, sir.
Hi, John? Yeah. Oh, John, I'm an old fighter pilot from Korea, and we used to fly the old F-86. Yeah, I tell you what, D. Well, okay. They were flying with me, and we did the Rolls-Royce engine. And the only time I ever got involved with your company was when I was jet, and it was a repair jet. Anyway, we had a plane out 35,000 feet one time coming over Kansas City. No, I think it was Cincinnati. And they came, I finally came back and picked it up and bring it down to 25,000 feet. And we picked her up and we flew like a real trooper. Yeah, she got us to get out, yeah. Anyway, the reason I want to call and get I'm calling from San Diego for all of the tail of maniac. Right. Yeah. We're a bunch of cowboys out here. But I'm really curious about things. And you know about Thorn? Thorn. We're out in the cosmologist out here. And we were wondering about what's going on. We built they're involved in the accelerator up there at Stanford. Yeah. Yeah. And it's a whacking thing. And these are things to say. Well, you're right in the middle of the action down here. That's where the Navy has a lot of their operations. And I can tell you some real weird stories about stuff that goes on. But you are right at the center of operation. They got to never penetrated it. You see a lot of real interesting stuff. Well, we're looking at times 10 to the minus 33rd. And we're looking at, instead of black holes, we're looking at wormholes. And this is a constant that was reaching for about 10 years. Of course, I think it's a black hole. And it's a vital concept. A wormhole, and you know that we got black holes in our vicinity. You know, supposedly every galaxy has its own black hole, and it's hard wormhole. I don't think that's how it works. Well, it has to do with space-time continuum. And listen to Thorn, of course, going to an old buddy of mine, and at first it's beautiful. If you look at the space-time continuum, it is a I think that what he's trying to do is figure out how they can put place without violating the speed of light. So they don't have access to the real information of how it works. That's like wormholes, but the way it works is called the instantaneous propagation of gravity. Science doesn't know it yet. But gravity is 2 points at A and B, and basically travels at speed of light. What you do is generate a very powerful beam of gravity that pulls space towards you. Space is average. It can be pulled this way and that. We think of it as nothing. It's something that has just 1/97 per square meter.
You're not really traveling through the space to get from A to B. You are traveling across an area.
Correct. You are pulling space towards you. 90 with space maybe hundreds of light years away. But that's why they invent wormholes, because they're trying to know that it can be done. They're trying to figure out a way that it can be done.
I think I know the concept of a black hole. What's the difference between a black hole and a wormhole?
Well, a black hole is a very intense, a collapsed star with the light that it goes in, that it doesn't let the light go through a wormhole. It's a completely different thing. Wormhole is what they're speculating is how to get from point A to point B very fast without violating the principle.
Do you believe it can be violated? And I don't mean by the method you just described, but I mean in actual speed travel.
No, I don't think you can see the light in your direction. You have to do it.
On the you're on there with John Lear. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Mark. Morning, Jim. No, listening to you today. I'm listening to my program. And,
where? I don't know.
KFC, yeah.
Yes.
You know, in the spirit that some people have what John is talking about, we must understand that whatever experience that we have as humans or whatever, it's a very good experience. And obviously, whoever, whether we have traded us, whatever use that we have for them, we have use for ourselves too. And if there's just, I mean, there's so much love and joy opposed to the diversity, which you're explaining that too. But the mind has to, the mind that was given to us, and the spirituality we have, needs to be used. And I think that's what you talked about. Go on and live your life even though you have more information.
That's right. To get to do what you want. To make your life and have fun. Whatever you want.
Right. Can you tell me if there's, in the other dimensions of what you're talking about in the 7 meters group, do they show any signs that all spirituality, I'm not talking about religion here at all, but of a separate spirituality or more intense spirituality or different?
No, I don't have that.
Okay, well then,
Thank you very much for the call. And we'll have to be fast, but we'll do one more here. On Wildcard Line, you're on the air. Hello. Charles Ford and Lovecraft.
Charles Ford, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Vessels, even. I've heard of where are you calling from? San Francisco. All right. John, something for vessels, containers for the soul.
For the soul is what it describes the Bible led exactly what we containers of. It could be containers of hormones, enzymes, or whatever. My own speculation is that we are containers.
Well, it's the, I guess it's and I hope we do contain souls.
It can never destroy the soul. Never.
All right, John Lear is my guest. Back down with John. No questions. John, are you there?
Yeah, right here.
All right, Bob Fox from Pueblo, Oregon, Sylvia. Please ask your guest, who does the briefing of presidents when they come into office on the supposed national security aspects of nuclear articles?
Would be MK12.
MK12, which still has been making the decisions over the years on the continuity of our government's policy toward IFOs.
MK12.
Who decides what the president should do?
MK12. Yeah. Elaborate on that. Within the MK12 itself, there's a great disdain for an appointed official, which is why the president or the Congress or any other appointed officials won't know very much. Security clearance is like this. The lowest security clearance you get is top secret. Above that, there's 20 levels of what we call top secret crypto. And they run 28 feet high. Above that, there's 10 things like Umbra, Amber, Ultra, top is projected. Now, the president in that state has declaring about top 17. He doesn't know very much. He doesn't need to know very much. He's kind of a figurehead. So they tell him, a little bit. They tell him probably other vehicles and they have a dead body or something. He doesn't know the whole story. He doesn't need to know the whole story.
All right, John, yes, and then we'll go back to the phones from San Fernando. I heard that a nuclear explosion can actually destroy a soul. And I heard Mark McKenna say that if there is death ray, it can eliminate the soul. John, if the soul can die or be destroyed. All right, I suppose a mute would check it up. On the toll-free line, John Lear. Good morning. Hello there.
Hello?
Yes, hello here. That's right, yes. What's your question?
I'm not familiar about the UFO subject. I've taken note of the fact that people seem to be quite interested in the soul. I think Whitney Strieber said that he doesn't believe that any human being on Earth really knows what these things are or what they really represent. Also, for your information, when a mouse goes to the line, you can grab it, and it makes it easier to go do whatever you want.
Do you like that? Do you like that analogy, John?
Okay.
The moths go toward the line, and they're back where they fry themselves. On the first time caller line, you're on the air with John Lear.
This is Mike from KCMD.
Yes, hi, Mike.
I have a few problems with the things that Mr. Lear, scientific analysis, physical issue first. You indicated that the Bible is changed. Is that correct? Are you aware that patriarchs in the early part of the 2nd century in their letters and apologetics had already included almost all the verses of the New Testament in their letters? But this is more than 100 years before God. And so that we can find almost all the New Testament just in their letters and writings regarding apologetics. Okay, and that there has been a copy of the Quran found in Egypt, dated in the 125 after Christ, after AD. And they calculate how long it would have taken to get that deep into Egypt. It would have existed before the turn of the century. Okay, now the things that I'm talking about are 325 AD, with the first council of I know the date I'm saying that the almost a complete New Testament is already found in the writings of what's called the patriarchs, and the disciples of John, in the first part of the 2nd century. And so we already have the New Testament in letters written back and forth, plus we have a whole book of Mark found in around 125 AD. Then you have even some of the historians agree that Luke, who wrote the Gospel Luke in the Acts, is a first-rate historian and had this book there. And so I'm wondering where you come up with this conclusion. I've heard research before and questioned people about it and they insist on it. And we're done with the fact that the New Testament can be recovered from documents before the time they were changed. They just kind of go on and don't discuss that recovered, but they're not in the King James Version. Well, when you do textual analysis, it's not based on it's based on the number of manuscripts and how old they are and how much they've changed over a period of time. In the Old Testament, we even have the Dead Sea Scrolls, that part of the book of Isaiah recovered, that we find it for changed very little from today. I'm just saying your conclusion is do careful research, and apparently you didn't know that the New Testament was known, and you found a manuscript older than before Constantine was before. That's correct. I'm just saying that they didn't make it to the King James Version, and most people have access. So these manuscripts still exist when you compare them to the King James Version. Now, as for science, I'm always upset when people talk about science, but ignore the fact that when they start talking about things supernaturally, they start putting science. I'm going to give you one example. We talk about time travel. One of our most basic laws is conservation of energy matter. Now, if someone comes from another time into this time dimension and brings their matter with them, and added matter broken the law of calculation energy matter. When we, by definition, something breaks our natural laws, we call it supernatural. But everybody seems to want to bring an umbrella under the science that call them what it is.
Which is what?
Okay, so we're actually,
All right.
so where are we wrong? Excuse me, where are we wrong? Where are you wrong? Yeah, well, that you're dealing with the supernatural. That I'm dealing with the supernatural.
All right, but I guess it's a semantic argument. He wants to call the supernatural instead of science.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. On the toll-free line, good morning. You're on the air with John Lear.
Yeah, the heartbeat sound is work.
It's on?
It's government work.
Oh, it's government.
Yeah, I'll explain that in a second, but I just want to say something to John Lear. John, everyone around here thinks he works for Air America, and I don't want to go into that. I'm asking sonar sounds. Thanks to Congress and Sam Paul, a sonar device devoted to threat the environment has been indefinitely delayed. The Scripps Institute of Oceanography and Advanced Research Project Agency has stopped the project development in order to conduct the EIS. Remember, the $35 million device, part of the acoustic thermometry ocean climate ATOS program, which is based off the coast of Point Third and Monterey National Marine Sanctuary.
I'm aware of the fact that they had plans, but it hasn't been done.
The device relies on the transmission of sonar bursts, blah, 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 blah. Just sitting over the radio, that sounds like a heartbeat. It goes boom, 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 boom. Well, here's why the Congress and SB stopped and where they were going to place it. A couple of divers started exactly what went on with it.
All right, thanks. Well, I have to say, as far as I know, they have not yet begun this project. It's been canceled, so I have great doubts if that's what they're doing. But the time will tell. On the toll-free line, you're on the John Lear. Good morning.
Well, Mr. Lear, your aviation credentials are certainly impeccable, to say the least, but like the previous conversation, science discussion is kind of strange, to say the least. It doesn't seem to hold a lot of water with any present science. Okay, well, just tell me specifically where I went wrong. Well, the discussion of element 115 is all based on a non-exclusive element. If I know that I did experiment. And this is a stable, non-radioactive element. That's correct. Okay, well, let's suppose that's true, and I can't say anything different. I would like to say also, you mentioned the book, God's of Eden. There's recently been released on the internet an excellent review of this book that says that it's pretty much based on number Scientology. What do you think of that? I don't think so, because I studied Scientology for a very short time. Yeah, I don't think it is. Well, thanks a lot for your time, and I've been keeping up with the information since about 1988, and I'm open now all over.
All right, thank you. That's an interesting point too. Wildcard line, you're on the air with John Lear. Good morning.
I'd like to ask John Lear a question, but I really John, how long have you been involved in the
Never.
You're saying that most of the information in the book that you read are not a cult. Because I read a book 10 years ago called The Cosmic Creator, one of the biggest little laws. They were going to duplicate the second coming of Christ with the alien deal that people believe that they were going to be saved by aliens.
Yeah, Ron, I understand what you're saying. I'm sure a lot of the religious folks out there think you've got 3 6s, something like that, too under your hairline. Under that green hair. John, what about Air America? Can you talk about that a little bit?
I worked for Cassie, which is no one really knows people who live in Airlines. We did the same work Air America, but fully subsidiary of the CIA, which Air America was. We did all the same job. But no, I did not work for Air America. I was in Czech. For those who are familiar with the operations in South Asia, will know exactly what I'm talking about.
I'm not sure about it. I was going to bring some up. You're on the country.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Sure, what are you talking about?
You transported, or were about to transport, some material to Iran, yes?
The ammunition from Israel to Iran.
So you ran some of the early weapons that Israel cut loose on our border, is that correct?
Yeah, we did 9 airbases flight, but it did the first airplane and got shot down. And the guy who was running the operation didn't want to send 707 to the back line. So the account of the operation later, I think it was like 6 or 8 months later, we ran it with another airline, was out of, somewhere like Lazar or something like that, and ran it from the first control from Dubai or one of those countries directly into Iran, so they didn't have to go around another country like we did Turkey. We had to go through 30 years. And the deal was that we would drop every other load, or give Turkey every other load that went in, information from final there.
Just when I get that out. The toll-free line down here with John Lear, where are you coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I'd like to talk a little more about the security that the government has. It doesn't allow the president to know very much. What was that called again?
Well, I just described how security works. The lowest clearances, top secret. There's others above that. But the president, they only have like there's not enough training clearance or security. What sort of, is this some sort of government agency of this security? You had mentioned some names. And then more or less got out of the when President Eisenhower came in, being a military man, more teeth and more power to MK-12 got out of control of the operation. I think we have a democracy and a republic, but that is taken and don't. But we hear it enough that we have a free country. The bigger the line, the more people believe it. But in fact, MK-12 was the whole thing. Okay, one last thing, Art, could you give the number, the address to your network? No, I'll take it off
The address to the network, what do you mean? I'm sorry, what do you mean?
The address to the network?
Do you mean right to me?
Yes, the network, yes, sir.
The network is in a separate place than I am.
In Oregon, yes.
No, in Oregon.
Yes, sir. I'd like to see if I advertise for your program.
I see. Okay, well, facts.
All right, thank you,
All
sir.
right, thank you. And that's area code 702-727. 8499. That's fax number 8499. If you want to contact the network directly, that's area code 503-664. 8829. 8829. And if you want to tape of this program, as long as I'm going to mention numbers here, it's area code 503-664-7966. Now, we're in the number mode. Why don't you give the address for the Lazar tape?
The Lazar tape is Trigon Corporation, that's TRIDOT Corporation, and it's 1324 Eastern. And it's Las Vegas, Nevada, 89104. Don't look for the numbers, not in the book. It's $29.95 plus $3 each and for the Lazar tape. What you describe as the experiences with the back engineering on the box.
All right, good. On the toll-free line, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hi, thank you for taking the call, Art. Great show. How was doing?
In the air. The energy released from the explosion would have equaled 3 times the bomb dropped on the Hiroshima. Now, I'm going to let you tell the rest of the story. Quite a bit of earth movement, and the deepest interesting time to bring on board Larry Wilson. Got a big announcement coming up today. So, welcome to the program. Here you are.
Well, thank you, Art, and good morning to all of your listeners.
Where are you, by the way?
I'm in Texas.
Texas. Oh, we're in Texas. All right, good. This is pretty frightening stuff. What is it that you think is going to happen, Larry, and when is it going to happen, and what will it do?
Well, Art, in a nutshell, I've come to the conclusion that there is to the world as we know it. And the events that lead up to the end and the establishment of God's kingdom, there are a series or a sequence of events described in the book of Revelation as I have come to understand it. Let me go back a little way and tell you that in 1988, I concluded that the Earth was going to be impacted by a binary pair asteroid impacts.
Larry, these are incredible statements, and I've been neglectful. I probably should have done it. I don't know that I've got a good strict bio on you. What is your background?
Well, at that time, I was working for a large hospital in the Dayton, Ohio area. My specialty was in the area of health promotion and health improvement, and
well, that's a long way from Thomas Crenshaw. So, how did you get?
So I have been a serious Bible student for several years, and in my spare time, I've just been a curious investigator of the prophecies, particularly. I know that a lot of people have examined the prophecies of Revelation and thrown up their hands in despair. But I like puzzles and I like mysteries, and so I just, hung in there. And one day the lights sort of all came on and the picture seemed to come together.
Mm-hmm. Have you read a book? Do you have a newsletter? How are you disseminating information other than perhaps through a program like this?
Yes, I've written several books. One of them is titled Warning, Revelation is About to Be Fulfilled. And I also publish a monthly newsletter called Daystar.
Say that again?
I publish a monthly newsletter called Daystar.
Daystar.
Yeah.
Right. Daystar. Huh. That's interesting.
kind of ironic, isn't it?
Well, I've had a lot of people on, Larry, of varying cuts. One of them, the one that has impressed me the most to date, was Gordon Michael Scallion.
Yes, I'm acquainted with some of his work.
I can imagine. And what chills me is when I have people on like him or you now, saying it seems to me virtually the same thing, but coming at it from a different perspective. Now, when you have Gordon Michael Scallion on, the people who are religious will call him extremely angry, even though he's got an 87% accuracy rating or whatever, and I've been tracking him as a matter of fact. They call him angry and they say, look, even if he was as good as 99%, the Bible says he is a false prophet. And all who make predictions are false prophets.
Well, Art, I've been called a false prophet for a long time, so I'm in good company.
Oh, you too, huh?
In 1988, when I began espousing my views that the Bible predicts 2 asteroid impacts, one specifically in an ocean and another on a landmass, a continent, people ridiculed me and told me that I was nuts and that the only rocks that were out there were in my head.
In your head. Where do you find, and I don't like Bible scripture quoting, but I suppose it'll be somewhat unavoidable. Because I've got to ask you where in the Bible you find support for what you're saying.
Okay. In Revelation chapter 8, there's a statement starting in verse 8. It talks, or verse 9 actually. No, it says like verse 8 here. It says, the second angel sounded his trumpet, and something like a huge mountain, all ablaze, was thrown into the sea. And then in verse 10, the third angel sounded his trumpet, and a great star, blazing like a torch, fell from the sky.
Fell from the sun into the earth.
Right. And it affects a third of the rivers and the springs of water. And the Bible goes on to say that as a result of the second impact, that the water becomes poisonous or contaminated, and many people drink the water and die.
All right. You've got a timeline roughly attached, don't you?
Yes.
On what basis do you do that? Is it not traditional that no man shall know the time?
No man knows the day or the hour of Christ's return. That's a foregone conclusion.
Well, how does a man know about the trumpets that have begun to blow?
Well, Bible prophecy operates as a continuum. You have a beginning point and you have an ending point, and there is a methodical way to lay out each of the elements to see where you are in this continuum, and this prophetic continuum has been already in process for 25 centuries. So it's not like you just jump into the middle of reality one day and say, hey, here we are. In reality, the way it works is that you begin to examine what has happened, how it was laid out, the architecture of prophecy, so that you can find your place in the great clock.
Mm-hmm.
And,
well, what does your great clock say with regard to these comments? I mean, this is a very non-trivial matter. When?
Sure. Well, my understanding is that we're in a window of time from 1994 until around the turn of the century, 1998, perhaps the year 2000, the turn of the millennium, you know.
Yes.
Somewhere in this time period, I expect these events to occur. Now, that doesn't mean that they will occur. That is just my anticipation.
What sort of comet do you expect to hit the ocean, which I believe you said would be the first? And
yes.
What effects generally would you expect that to produce?
When, in 1989, the National Geographic presented a series or an article on titled Extinction about the dinosaurs being, eliminated from Earth by an asteroid. I was surprised to find that studies and modeling studies done at the University of California at Berkeley conformed exactly to what John has described in Revelation. If a great asteroid, say a mile or two in diameter, were to impact the Pacific Ocean, traveling at 40,000 miles an hour.
Wait a minute. Hold that thought, would you?
Yes.
We'll take a break here at the bottom of the hour. That's a great book. You mentioned the dinosaurs, and I'll just briefly tell you that there is now a dinosaur, as of NBC News last night, to replace T-Rex. And guess what his name is? Gigantosaurus. Gigantosaurus. They have found the remains of what's called Gigantosaurus in Argentina. It is a 100-million-year-old animal. It was 40 feet long, weighed a total of 8 tons, according to Tom Brokaw, had 8-inch teeth, was, thank goodness, the biggest flesh-eating dinosaur ever to walk on 2 legs. And I believe that Gigantosaurus, T-Rex, and all of their smaller brethren are thought to have disappeared as a result of exactly what we're talking about and will be talking about this morning. Comets slamming into the Earth. In a moment, we'll find out what would happen from Larry Wilson if a comet, if and when a comet hits our ocean. We'll be right back. Good from Internet. Somewhere inside, with Art Bell, continues courtesy of the Internet. All right, Larry Wilson, back on the air again, Larry. I know you've done a lot of scientific research, so that you know what you're saying is true. So go ahead and tell us if you set up the scenario that you believe is so close.
Okay. Art, let me do this to tell your listeners that if they'll get a pencil handy, I'll be glad to give a copy of a little book that describes all of this as a complimentary gift.
Free?
It's free. If they'll just call the office, we have people standing by even right now, and we'll be glad to give a free copy of the little book. Warning, Revelation is about to be fulfilled, absolutely free without any obligation whatsoever. Just as
Yeah, I think you better be careful. I've got a copy of that book here. It's, let me see. It's 140 pages.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like it's cheap.
No.
So, Larry, I'm telling you, be careful. Be careful what you say.
Well, we'll be glad to do it for as long as supplies last. And now back to the story.
All right.
There is a 4-trumpet sequence. Let me give the larger picture and then go through the details. The first trumpet of Revelation found in Revelation 8, verse 7. And there is a meteoric firestorm of burning hail. So we have a cosmic catastrophe that causes global over the world. The Bible says a third of the trees and all the green grass was burned up. It's sort of like, if I understand it correctly, like our passing through the Leonid asteroid belt every November, December, and January. Apparently, there is a meteoric firestorm that starts fires that are just unquenchable.
Meteors spin over the sky.
Yeah. Then secondly, this is followed by a great asteroid impact upon the sea. And if an asteroid a mile or even half a mile in diameter were to impact, let's say, the Pacific Ocean, it would create a tsunami that could be upwards of 3,000 feet high.
3,000 feet.
3,000. The tsunami would literally wash away cities along the coast of all the nations that rim the Pacific. And you could see that enormous, almost, well, beyond calculation, is the amount of devastation that would occur.
There's no way you could know where it would fall, though. It would fall in the Atlantic.
That's correct.
Then it would go over Florida like a big old tidal wave.
That's correct. Well, it hit the Gulf of Mexico.
That'd be bad, too.
The tidal wave, according to some research, would reach as far inland as Kansas City because of our relatively flat plain. Interestingly, the Bible says that a third of the ships of the sea were destroyed as a result of this impact. Then the third event is a asteroid impact that strikes a landmass and shears the tectonic structure, causing, with the ground wave, it shears the septic system, the buried waste, and other leaching fields are broken up so that the great aquifers beneath the cities of that continent are contaminated, and people drink the water, and many perish as a result. This is not, I really don't like to believe what I understand, if you know what I'm saying.
And you believe this is in the near term, don't you?
Yes,
in other words, prior to 2000.
Yes, that's correct. And my objective, and I'm deeply appreciative to you for two reasons. One, for the opportunity of being on your show to share what I've come to understand. But secondly, I appreciate very much that you have been diligent, I believe, in trying to get people to look at a larger picture and to consider the findings of science and others who are trying to say something about the events that are before us.
Well, I'm diligent pursuing information in this area, and I'm disquieted by the similar nature of the Gordon Michael Scallions, the Larry Wilsons, and so many others who come from so many different directions. Yours is the Bible, but seem to conclude roughly the same thing. To me, that is very disquieting.
Yeah. In 1989, a fellow by the name of Henry Holt, out of the U.S. Geological Survey in Flagstaff, he discovered what was later named Asteroid 1989-C. It was a mere mix of 6 hours. An asteroid, yes.
That is neat.
It gives new meaning to near-Earth objects.
How big was it?
Well, there was some debate on its actual size, but some concluded that it could have been, 300 meters across, 1,000 feet diameter. Well, these things come at us so fast, and there are so many of them that it's impossible to track them all and to see them all because of space. A 1 mile of asteroid, 1 mile in diameter, is so tight compared to the distances and the span involved that it's just an incredibly, it's truly the needle in the haystack.
Well, I guess it is, because my recollection is, and maybe you can answer why, but I've been in talk radio for years, and it was 4 years ago, I guess. We had a couple of near misses. The Associated Press reported on them, and the interesting thing was, they were very near misses, and they said, they reported it after the fact. In other words, we just had a very near miss. In both cases, it was reported the next day or the next week.
Yeah.
And it was obvious, if they knew it was coming and was going to be close, well, it was obvious they didn't. Or maybe not so obvious, or maybe they weren't sure, they saw it and weren't sure, and did not say anything for fear of panicking people. I don't know, one of the above.
Yeah. But, one only has to look at the moon. And I'm remembering that one face of the moon always is dwarfed the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
The Earth, the moon rotates on its axis in such a way that we always see the same side of the moon. And the side that we can see is obviously pockmarked with thousands of meteoric craters.
Yes.
Now, that to me has always been disquieting for the reason that we're looking at the side that's always toward us. So that would indicate that in many of these impacts, they've had to have missed Earth and hit the moon.
That seems unreasonable. In other words, might it not be true that the Earth experienced just as many as the moon in ancient times, but because we have air and atmosphere,
right?
We have hills and valleys and Grand Canyons and who knows impact areas that simply are not recognized any longer as impact areas.
Well, David Morrison calculates. David Morrison is the director out at the Ames Research Center.
Yes, sir.
For NASA. He and other scientists calculate that somewhere on the order of 100 tons of space debris enters our atmosphere daily.
Mm-hmm. But very small.
Very small.
Yeah.
And so we're constantly in this junkyard of cosmic debris.
Right, but generally it burns in the atmosphere.
When I was in Vietnam back in the late 60s as a soldier, I remember at night watching the shooting stars. I marveled back then at how many there actually were when there was no other light source.
Oh, yes, I'm out here in the middle of the desert, and we see them like that here. They're on many, as you put out. Even at times of non-meteor showers, there are many. But they're small, and as long as they burn up the furnace, the ones we're talking about, or the ones you're talking about, are big and very harmful.
Yeah. In fact, they're called civilization threatening.
Mm-hmm.
And I come at this on the basis that the Bible predicts these events are going to take place because God has something He really wants to tell all 6 billion of us on this planet. And this is God's way of getting the attention of every human being everywhere.
All right. Let's come back to Earth for a second. We're probably in the middle of what is going to be, in all times of keeping records, the biggest hurricane season. Period.
Yeah.
We are in a time of a lot of earthquake movement. Latest north to LA yesterday, Central California, really shaken, 5.8. 7 point somewhere, another 7 point, I can't recall what it was down in Mexico. Recently, the Japanese quake. There's a lot of activity going on.
Did you see the one Zealand Monday.
What was that?
It was 6:27, I think.
6:27. All right. Well, that just adds to the list. And is this is the weather change in your view and the Earth movement we're experiencing now some sort of message as well?
Absolutely. The Earth is waxing old, if you will. It bears a very incredible burden. Even the volcanic activity. I was surprised recently to learn that there is a volcano right out of Mexico City, and also Mount Vesuvius, I believe in Italy, and a number of others that have seismologists extremely worried because of the building pressure seem to indicate that a major, like Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines, a major eruption is forthcoming.
The eruption of Vesuvius would fulfill yet another stallion prophecy. Are you aware of that?
No.
The most recent interview I did with Lord Michael Scallion was a very hurried interview. And he was almost beside himself with worry. And he was saying, watch Vesuvius very closely. If Vesuvius and Etna begin to get active, then the final phase of his predictions will begin.
Well, we haven't mentioned it yet, but the fourth trumpet of Revelation,
yes,
I believe, is not only one, but the whole ring of fire of the Pacific Rim, I believe, will ignite. And
see, I'm laughing because this makes me nervous. Hearing this from you, hearing it from him, the whole Pacific Rim, or the Ring of Fire, is going to ignite.
Yeah.
Are we feeling precursors to that now?
I believe so. And the movement of the tectonic plate, as you were just mentioning, the earthquake, whether it's in New Zealand, whether it's off the coast of Australia, or in Mexico, or in Iran or China, the movement of these plates, these great land masses, or even the sub-ocean land mass, is ominous.
So, how do you tell it this? Do you think that this is written in stone? Earlier you said this might not happen. It's just kind of a qualifier. I mean, if the trumpets are blowing, Larry, as I understand biblical prophecy or revelations. Once the tune begins to play, it plays, doesn't it?
Yeah. But the reason I count my words is that there is a possibility that I could be wrong. Of course, that always is true with anything I do. My interpretation of Revelation follows a series of interpretive principles, or hermeneutics as they're called, in which I try to show that this is not my attempt to take a mountain of wax and to mold it and to create an image that I want it to be. I try to approach the interpretation of Revelation from a scientific point of view, using, as you would in math or any science, a set of guiding principles or rules of interpretation, so that it's not just Larry Wilson.
Okay, that's good, Larry. How do you connect? What science would you quote to connect your belief with regard to blowing trumpets?
Well, in 1988, when I came to these conclusions, the following year in 1989, I believe it was, I felt a certain amount of vindication, I guess is the only word, when Clark Chapman and David Morris concluded made quite a public announcement that asteroids not only had impacted the Earth in the past, but that we are due in the near future, and in science, in scientific terms, near future can be anywhere from 100 to 300 years. And when they publicly stated that it is conceivable that Earth is due on the celestial clock a major impact within a 300-year timeline, I figured that, wow, this is wonderful, not in the sense of what we're pretending, but that science and the Bible do find some harmony.
I see. 200 years is a lot longer, from my point of view, as a mere mortal, than time before the year 2000.
Yeah.
All right, Larry, what I'm going to do is let some of the audience out here, if you want to stay around. All right, stay around then, Larry. Larry Wilson. Going in the same direction as Gordon Michael Stallion, starting in a different place, but the destination sounds an awful lot like what Mr. Stallion is predicting.